You're listening to the Rebel Rebel podcast with Rory Carson. Tasha Vigeshtak, leis an fod cruelly Rebel Rebel, le Rory McCarson.
Well, folks, so it goes. What's official? It has been launched. The big fans gathering 3 officially on Saturday, the 2nd of December. So I've been promoting it since Thursday. So we go watch the official video. You're going to be hearing that there a couple of times per show over the next of months until we get this here event sold out. It is well on the way to go, and lots of tickets sold over the first few days. So cheers to all you folks, everyone who's bought tickets from all over the place, from Dublin, from Wexford, from let's see, we're going Glasgow, London. There's a few from up around Falkirk have bought tickets as well. There's a few from West Belfast bought tickets. Some from Lurgan have bought tickets. A few places in England. So thank you very much for the support, folks. It's going to be a great gig. So welcome along. This is Rebel Sundays on the Rebel podcast with myself, Big Ro. Cheers to you all for tuning in today. Back for another week after 1 week off, so I hope you all had a good St. Patrick's weekend and Mother's Day as well. Had a good one myself, very, very busy last weekend, so great to see, getting these here gigs, the Rebel gigs that I want to be doing. All this here sort of work is definitely paying off, so good. Well, folks, so if you're watching the show today on Facebook, please share the stream as usual for me. Hit the wee share button. Send it around any of your Rebel groups, Irish groups, family and friends, wherever you want. Just hit the share button and we'll get so many people listening in today. If you're watching on Twitter, cheers, thanks very much, and give us a wee retweet. If you're watching the show on our main platform of YouTube, you can copy and paste the link and just send it through to all your family and friends, whatever. You can copy and paste it, send it on your social media groups as usual. If you're watching the show now later on, maybe tonight, tomorrow, during the week, thanks very much, folks, for coming back and watching the show. Downloading it for us, always much appreciated. So we'll get into the comments after the first song. So we're going to open up the show today with a guy who's, I think he's still out in America, Stefan, who's been literally just blown up. Well, maybe that's the wrong word to be saying, blown up all over America, but he's absolutely rocking it over there. He's been doing great he's been over a few weeks now in America, playing all these St. Patrick's Day events. So I think was it maybe yesterday, the day before, finished them up. So we're going to open up the show today, one of Stefan's songs from his album, Rebel Heart. This brilliant song is obviously made famous by the Wakes. It's called These Hands on Rebel Sundays. Here we go.
Take a look at you, old man, as you sit in your chair. You could be almost anyone, for all I know or I care. But on your chest there's a red star from your days long gone by, for a proud fading past, for a cause you held high. Son, we set out from Glasgow to the war-torn Spain, brave socialist fighters of the Scottish Brigade, not knowing our fate or what would befall, but for justice and freedom we were proud to give all. And my hands fought the fascists at Hurama in Spain, and my heart beats for justice unto my dying day. I never set out for glory, but hit my part to play in the fight against Franco at Hurama in Spain. But for 5 weeks we waited to be handed a gun. They drove us into the fighting under Spain's blazing sun, and the fires of hell don't compare to the battle that day. In the heat of Hurama, 7,000 lay slain. Then we ran out of bullets taken by Franco's men. The Taverna della Reina, and then moved on again. And the Calton had never seemed so far away as I lay in my prison in Salamanca in Spain. And my hands fought the fascists at Hurama in Spain, and my heart beats for justice until my dying day. I never set out for glory, but in my part to play in the fight against Franco at Hurama in Spain. Take a look at me now, boy, and the star on my chest. Some would have given everything for the cause of the left, by the parts that they played and the deeds that they done, and the fight against Franco under Spain's blazing sun. And my hands fought the fascists at Hurama in Spain, and my heart beats for justice until my dying day. I never set out for glory, but in my part to play in the fight against Franco at Hurama in Spain. And my hands fought the fascists at Hurama in Spain, and my heart beats for justice until my dying day. I never set out for glory, but in my part to play in the fight against Franco at Hurama in Spain. In the fight against Franco at Hurama in Spain. Take a look at me now, boy, and the star on my chest.
That's our Stefan there, folks, with the brilliant These Hands on Rebel Sundays. Myself, Big Row, right through to 4 o'clock this afternoon, folks. 4 o'clock. So if any of you Southerners out there don't like the way I say things, tough titty, as I say. 4 o'clock. So I want to say Kieran. I'll say Kieran. So that's enough. So, folks, yeah, coming up as well today at 2 o'clock, we'll have Kevin Driscoll live on the show for us. Really looking forward to having Kev on. I've been talking to him over the last week or so, getting things ready for the day. And I know he's really busting his arse to get on today. So he has obviously maybe a few cross wires over the last year or so. I know Kev has been really wanting to get on the show. So he has. I've sent him a few texts about trying to get him on, and he hasn't seen them. And obviously one day, somebody tagged me in one of his posts on his page. I think it was on his private group, the Fenian Friends one. And we got talking, and bang, I organised the day's interview. So really looking forward to this one. Obviously been listening to his album over the last week or so as well. A couple of cracking songs on it. So we're going to be playing 2 songs from Kev's album today. So we'll jump into the comments, see what have what's in. Loads of people listening today, folks. So cheers for all the shares. Much appreciated. Right, we'll go right to the very, very start, see who we have on. Let's see, loads of comments too already. James McMullen's on. How you doing, James? Derek Delaney, afternoon knowing the gang from overcast Dublin. It's been like as well here in the west here as well. Not too great today. Ray Callahan, how you doing, Ray? All the dirty dubs in early in the day. Afternoon all from the ref in Ballybogue. A few before the match. Derek, you're going to the film bars later on. I see Emer's on the night. So she is. John Boy McElhenney, just get your tickets to this morning, mate. Good man yourself. Good afternoon, Ro, and fellow listeners. Looking forward to another great show. Indeed. Marie Barkley, another fellow West Belfastian. How do you know? Watching today from West Belfast, aka God's Country. Cheers. Let's see. That's what I have. Marty Heaney, what's the crack, Martin? You've been quiet this last week. I haven't seen you online, so I haven't. Are you alright? Joseph McGurr, how you doing? Joseph, what's the crack? Steve over there in Germany. Hello, everyone. Thanks a lot for tagging me. Good man yourself. Gary Shardon. Hello, Big Ro. How you doing, mate? Gary, James, Devin McClave. James, how you doing, mate? Have you recovered from that there dreadful entertainment last night that you sent me? The video of David Tempest Mitchell. How you doing, David? Looking for a bit of Damien Quinn with Caledonia. We're going to get there the next 3 minute, the next song of the day. So hold tight. Young Fenton, how you doing, Fenton? What's the crack? Let's see. Everybody's yep. Can't wait. Hotel tickets booked and all. Valerie, happy days. Good. Hugh McKenna, hail. How you doing, mate? Patricia McCullough watching on Facebook today. Edward Strain. Hello from Bells Hill. Watching on YouTube, like yourself. There's our Maura Burns over there in Coatbridge. How you doing? Phil Clemenson watching on YouTube. Thanks, Ro, for making our Sundays so cheerful. That's what it's all about. Phil and Carrie in Bells Hill as well. Not a problem. I say most people the same people. I'm just going to try and find a few more. We haven't mentioned yet. There we go. What is the crack, Marty? Well, mate, can you play Gary Oak's Terrace or Dreamer and see you over Easter? Yes, mate, I'll be seeing you in the Rock, I'm sure, at some stage over Easter. I'll see if I can get that there on. Michael O'Malley, what is the crack, Michael? Go on, Stefan Kidd. Here, how did Kate get on last night, mate? Doing the lip sync thing in the harp. Andrew Reid, how you doing, Andrew? Love the Rebel Sundays. Moss End 2. What's that? Kin Cardine special. You know my cousins. Iona Graham, what is crack? Iona, hope you're going to be in work tomorrow, missus. You love the Rebel Sundays, you do. Kieran, how you doing, Kieran? Afternoon from Crook Park Row. Up the dubs today. And reminder that Spanner, we're only 4 weeks off the Dublin in the Antrim Championship game in Corrigan. And I'll be bringing a busload into your house for tea. There we go. He makes the best tea in the country, so he does. Marty Higgins certainly doesn't. Mary Louise, how you doing, Mary Louise? What's crack? Joe Duffy, watching on Facebook. Ronan McDonald, what's crack? Where are you these days? Are you over in Coatbridge? Are you in your home? You laying in bed here or what? Paul Welch, listening today from County Cork, the Rebel County. And we'll do one more. Robbie Hayes, how you doing? Up the Republicans, up the All-Ireland Republic. Nationalism, internationalism. Go on, you boy. Right, so first tune we're going to do today, well, by request, this was for David Tempest Mitchell. He was looking for a bit of Damien Quinn with Caledonia. It's actually the song features on our album, the Rebs for Hope one. And let's see this here, actually, song here. For me, probably one of Damien's best songs he's ever recorded. The production on it is fantastic, so it is. You can actually watch the video of the production of the song itself on YouTube. Just go and check it out. So David, this one's for you and your lovely missus as well. This is Damien Quinn with Caledonia for all of our Scottish friends watching in the day to 4 o'clock. Here we go.
I don't know if you can see changes that have come over me. These past few days I've been afraid I might drift away. I've been telling old stories, singing songs, made me think about where I come from. That's the reason why it seems far away today. Oh, let me tell you that I love you. I think about you all the time. Caledonia's been calling me. Now I'm going home. If I should become a stranger, how it would make me more than sad. Caledonia's been everything I've ever had. Well, I have moved, I've kept on moving, proved the points that I needed proving. Lost some friends I needed losing, found others on the way. I've kissed the girls, I've left them sighing, stolen dreams, yes, there's no denying. Travel hard sometimes with conscious flying, somewhere with the wind. Oh, let me tell you that I love you. I think about you all the time. Caledonia's been calling me. Now I'm going home. And if I should become a stranger, how it would make me more than sad. Caledonia's been everything I've ever had. Sitting here before the fire, the empty room, the forest choir, flames of coal don't get any higher. Rendered now, they've gone. I'm steady thinking my way is clear. I don't know what I'll do tomorrow. Hands have shaken, kisses flown, I might disappear. Oh, let me tell you that I love you. I think about you all the time. Caledonia's been calling me. Now I'm going home. And if I should become a stranger, how it would make me more than sad. Caledonia's been everything I've ever had.
There we go. Mr. Rebel Sundays there himself, Damien Quinn, folks, with Caledonia. Spicy for David Tempest Mitchell and your lovely Mrs. Adele. There we go. Today, listening in to Rebel Sundays, folks, with myself, Big Row, till 4 o'clock, folks. So any requests you want, any tunes you want, get them in. I'll try and get them on for you today before we finish up. This little hour last night's really knocked a few people. Definitely knocked me. I've definitely feeling it this morning waking up. Of course, the clocks went forward at 1 a.m. to 2 o'clock, so they did. So I know there may be a few people here who are still in bed. Probably didn't know to put their clocks forward. Right, let's see who we have else. Who else we have watching in? Right, here we go. Let's see. Right, so we got that one's there. Karen Dixie Downey. How you doing, Karen? Afternoon, everyone from North Belfast. Looking forward to a bit of chat and crack with Kev O.D. Speaking of North Belfast, folks, just condolences there to the young guy who basically fell from the flats in the New Lodge last night there. I know there's a lot of people sending around pictures and videos all this morning, folks. So I'm telling you now, please, don't be, if you have one of them videos or pictures, don't be forwarding on, don't be sending on nobody. This young guy, or whoever, is a family at home, do you know what I mean? And they don't need to be seeing this here. So if any of us do have a video or a picture of that there, the guy falling from the flats last night, delete it from your phone immediately. Don't be sending on, and don't be forwarding it or whatever, because it's shocking behaviour altogether. I've seen a few people already posting and sending videos this morning. It's brutal. So Karen, welcome along to the show. Let's see, Michael McCormack, how you doing? Are you still in the camper van? I seen you just abandoned it there last night somewhere, going to see Gary Oak. So I hope it was a good night. There's the Culchies all in nice. There, Tara, what's the crack? Duck, what's happening? Neil Costigan, good morning, Ro, from sunny Staten Island in New York. Good man yourself. Neil, well up this morning as usual. Mary Louise watching today from Twimbrook. Good woman yourself on Facebook. Stranger Tom Pedden, what's the crack? How you doing, mate? Good to see you on today. Mark Reed is watching from Newart Hill here. Steph McNally, Dion better than Travel Hustle this year. Did you get somewhere else booked then for December? I thought you enjoyed it there. The Travel Hustle and their Swedish birds you're in with. Was it not? No. Let's see. Joel McPhee. Steve O'Ishi's morning. Stephen, no, I'm up early in sunny Toronto, 8 a.m. up the Rebs. Good man, Joel, for tuning in today from Canada. Who else we have on? Iona says, yep, sober weekend for me, Ro. Belfast next weekend for a Rebel Sunday. You love it, so you do. Lee Curry just says, hi everyone, just a quick hi. I'm stuck at work, so I will listen later on my way home. Happy Rebel Sunday. Cheers, mate. Good man yourself. Kev, just so you're listening, I can't see you yet here. I can see if you're at the bottom of the screen here, but can't see your thing. Maybe best try it with your phone, Kev, right? Maybe the best bet to do it with rather than do it on the laptop. That's all I'll say. Let's see. Dahi. Hey, Ro. Hope you're good. Great show as always. Good man yourself. Kieran McGuigan. How you doing, Kieran? Watching on Facebook. Hello, Ro. How you doing yourself? Right, Kira is looking forward to please play Misa Ura by Shanley and the Unity Squad. What a song! What a song! I've been looking for a while to play it there, a tune from I heard it on John Costello's one there a while ago. He played a brilliant tune, and Gary O does a great wee version this here, so he does. So yep, I'll definitely get that on today for you, Kira. What a great shout! Cheers. Right, so next tune we're going to do here for you is talking to Gary Oak. So Marty there from Twice Daily asked me to play Terrace or Dreamer by Gary Oak. And normally I would only play the Bick McFarlane version, but Gary's version is very, very good as well. So Marty, mate, this one is spicy for you. Hope you're well, mate. Tune in this morning. It's Gary Oak and Sean Lyons, folks, with Terrace or Dreamer on Rebel Sundays. All 8.5 minutes of it.
Sackville Street, the curfew drove the restless out of sight. Black and tans marched up and down, the moon shone cold and bright. The shot was like a whip crack that drove the first man off his feet. Died on bloody cobblestones while his comrades combed the street. Caught up in reinforcements, pulled the people from their beds. They were screaming, "Get that bastard!" Fear was in their hands. Found him in a cellar. He was only 17, fighting for his country, dying for the green. Sergeant dragged him by the hair, then beat him to the ground. To this young man's body he emptied every round. "Come out and take a look," he cried, as he marched his troops away. They went in stony silence, such a price to have to pay. Some knelt and prayed beside him, but it was too late anyhow. For you said he was a rebel then, well, who's the hero now? '66 our country sang the praises of the dead. We didn't call them rebels then, we used patriot instead. Every household TV screen saw how hard they fought, how they spilled their life's blood, how our freedom had been bought. Garden gates were opened up to a silent motorcade. Cannons boomed and flags unfurled, solemn wreaths were laid. Prayers for those departed, they were called for loud and clear. Those that had been outlawed, that was another year. Veterans lined up stiff and proud, their white hair ruled the wind. The pride pinned to their gabardines, their thoughts upon their friends. But our wounds burst open, scars of history went flying into our faces. Stark reality, just up the road from Sackville Street, things are different now. You said he was a rebel then, well, who's the hero now? Down the falls road soldiers push their glances left and right. Kids of the English working class, soldiers overnight, tossed into melting pot of bloody war and strife, never understanding, fearing for their lives. Outside the Glen Road Brewery, a bomb takes to the way. The bomber's work is over, he's finished for the day. Is he a terrorist or a dreamer, or a savage or a brave? Well, it depends whose vote you're trying to catch, or whose face you're trying to see. There's tea and cakes and down in the stream, there's whispers in the hall. Let's move the Curo tea shop now, our backs are to the wall. There's panic down in Leinster House, where words are seldom scarce. Send someone to Glasnevin quick to remember Padre Pierce. Once more his crucifixion, it seems a lie somehow. He said he was a rebel then, well, who's the hero now? Once more his crucifixion, it seems a lie somehow. For you said he was a rebel then, well, who's the hero now? He's the hero now.
There we go, that is the sound of Gary Oger, folks, with Sean Lands from the album there, Songs of Rebellion from a few years ago, one, so it is, especially here for Marty at one there from Twice Daily, looking for that there tune, so cheers for tuning in today. Folks, yeah, welcome along. So this is Rebel Sundays on the Rebel podcast with myself, Big Roo. So we'll have Kevin Driscoll, folks, he's sitting here ready to go, waiting in the wings, busting his arse to go on the show, so he is. So we're going to play his first song today, obviously a wee bit earlier, we're going to get him on about 2 o'clock, so we're going to play his first song from the album, and then we'll get him on the screen, we'll do the interview, and then we're going to play another song at the end of the interview, so really looking forward to having a wee bit of a chat with Kev. So here's the first song we're going to play from him today, folks. This is from Kev's album, Rebel Blood, Fenian Heart. I say definitely one of my favourite songs on the album, one of my favourite Rebel songs altogether, so we'll talk about it once we have Kev on. So this is a bit wee tune called The Lid of My Granny's Bin.
As I was climbing into bed, my poor granny sighed. I looked out of the window, the Brits they had arrived. The house was soon surrounded, they battered the front door in. I knew they came to take away the lid of me granny's bin. Well, she opened up her window and she clambered down the spout. Soon her bin was rattling for to call her neighbours out. She then took out a whistle and she blew away like hell. And soon we heard the echo as the neighbours blew as well. And it was scream, bang, shout, hey, raise an awful din. You've got to spread a warning when the army they come in. Well, a soldier came right up the stairs, a rifle in his hand. She kicked him with her button boots and along the hall she ran. Up came another one, some medals for him to win. But all he got right up his gob was the lid of me granny's bin. And it was scream, bang, shout, hey, raise an awful din. You've got to spread a warning when the army they come in. Well, the music rose like thunder as the bins and whistles played. The enemy soon retreated, they knew they'd overstayed. It wasn't made of silver, it was only made of tin. But once again it saved the street, the lid of me granny's bin. And it was scream, bang, shout, hey, raise an awful din. You've got to spread a warning when the army they come in. Well, the war has had its weapons since men began to fight, and everyone has different ways to try and show their might. The army has tried everything to cover up its sins, but now the plastic bullets fail, they're trying plastic bins. And it was scream, bang, shout, hey, raise an awful din. You've got to spread go home, kind friends, and go to bed. Sleep as best you can. But if trouble comes along, get out and lend a hand. To all you fair young ladies, if trouble does begin, get out into the backyard, love and rattle away at your bins, and it was scream, bang, shout, hey, raise an awful din. You've got to spread a warning when the army they come in, and it was scream, bang, shout, hey, raise an awful din. You've got to spread a warning when the army they come in.
There we go, folks. That is Kevin Driscoll with Little McGranny's Bin. So hopefully should have Kev online. Can you hear me, mate?
Yeah, loud and clear.
Happy days, good man yourself. I'll just put these wee banners on with the names. 2 seconds. Where about show display names? There we go. Good man. So Kev, cheers for coming on today. Much appreciated. Say you're finally here. Obviously, not to sort of want to try and make it happen. I know you want to go on for a while. I sort of sent you a few messages and the sort of didn't get through to you, so it didn't. But you're here now, mate. So hey ho, we'll get this here going. So cheers, mate. So obviously, from the usual, when we do these interviews, we always go sort of straight to the dig in from the start. So obviously, you're originally from the East Tyrone, so you are very, very staunch Republican part of the country. Sort of a part of the country that's really played their part in the struggle, but of course, as paid the price big time as well, with sort of lost lives on the struggle. So they have. So tell us a wee bit, obviously, about what do you remember about growing up in East Tyrone.
I would have left Tyrone around we would have left Tyrone around 92, so I would have been about 10, so you remember everything. It never leaves you. You know what I mean? I just remember not being able to go anywhere really, and basically fucking Brits being everywhere. You be playing football in the front garden, and the fucking Brits would be watching you there, they'd be in the bushes there watching you. You know what I mean? Checkpoints, I remember a lot. I remember, a lot of me father's friends, being murdered and all that. So I do remember a lot. You could write a book. You could write a book.
Well, I'd say you'd be the man for doing it, so you would. Definitely the amount of songs all you've written, so I think there'd definitely be a book in there somewhere. Tell me about, I don't know if this happened before, you went to Dublin or when you got to Dublin. Obviously, I've been listening to your podcast with Michael McCormick last year. Brilliant interview, folks. Go and check it out on the Irish Sound if you haven't listened to it yet. So obviously I got a lot of my stuff here for the interview today. So cheers, Michael, for doing all the hard work for me. Tell me about this sort of harebrained idea that sort of you and your mates had in school about forming a band. So what stage was this here? When was this here? When did you have the idea about wanting to do this?
Oh, that was when I was 14. We were in secondary school. And it was actually my best mate actually to this day, Michael Rafferty. He's in, hello Mick there, you're in, I know he's in Copenhagen there, but we were just in, it was a morning lunch break, I was about 14 at the time, and a group of lads standing around, and we just let's start a band, let's for the crack. And we were only joking, you know what I mean?
Aye.
It was only a laugh, Kev, you be the guitarist, and Aaron, you be the lead singer, and everyone was laughing, even I was laughing, and but just, to be honest, I had no intention at that time even of picking up the guitar, I didn't. Right. I was only a joke really, but then, a fella, Aaron Rebothan, he says he asked his mother for lessons, for guitar lessons, and I said, I better ask mine for a few lessons, or to pay for a few lessons. So we got 4 lessons, and I wasn't picking it up as fast as I wanted to, because the attention span wasn't there. If I'm not picking it up quick, I just abandon ship, But I think Oasis were big at the time, I don't know, everyone likes a bit of Oasis,
Yeah.
And they were big at the time. I'm going about 95, 96, What's the Story? Morning Glory would have been big at that time, and I loved their music. And so, another mate of mine, Noel Houlihan. Noel, if you're watching there, fair play to you, mate. You're the reason why I'm still playing. He handed me one of these Oasis guitar books, and I never looked back after that. Basically,
It's praising the amount of people says that there. That was like no matter what style of music they play, that Oasis songbook was their first for anybody getting in the acoustic guitar playing, like to pick up the chords and all of it. So it was like what was the first song you done then? You learned?
Oh, I was Cast No Shadow. I love that one. Love that Cast. I know all the songs off that album. I love Cast No Shadow. Like obviously, Don't Look Back in Anger. Roll With It. Some might say all those songs because She's Electric. They were the ones you kind of thought like a Wonderwall, obviously.
Yeah.
But if you could play those songs, you were kind of like the cool lads. You know what I mean?
Aye,
So
definitely playing rebel music anyway. Back then, you wouldn't seem being cool. Like.
But I think everyone kind of wanted to play those songs because they were cool at the time, like So that's what I was trying to do, but I never really looked back after that,
So what obviously I know you play the drums as well. So what came first, or how did that come about? I mean, what sort of came? Did the drums sort of come after learning the guitar, or what?
Yeah, I'll be honest with you. I've over the years I've been in so many different bands. I've been a drummer in a band, a bass player in a band, lead singer in a band, lead guitarist in a band. But obviously, like the last time I was in a band would have been about 20 years ago. Just but again, like the drummer. I think I took up drum lessons because at the time the band didn't have a drummer, and I said, "Jesus, I so desperately wanted to be in a band at the time." So I started getting drumming lessons, and I got pretty good. But again, you reach the stage where like you start working and you start getting girlfriends and things like that, and you just can't sustain the whole band thing, and then everyone's nobody can get time off work, and then the band falls apart. And so now I'm all on me lonesome now, so I think it suits me better.
That's it. So you've been obviously in Dublin now for the best part of 30 years. So what originally took the whole family to Dublin then? What from upsticks from East Tyrone then? Like?
The Troubles basically would have taken us to Dublin. In a nutshell, I mean, my father always wanted to move to Dublin anyway. It was always on his mind, but 100%, it would have been the Troubles. Like it would have been, it just as an Irish Republican family living in East Tyrone at that time, it wouldn't have been an easy place to live.
No, I'm sure.
It definitely wouldn't. Now, like I would have been as a 10-year-old, I would have been more sheltered. But my father and my older brothers, they would have seen a lot worse than I would, and it would have been really tough for them. So there's actually a song on the album called "Our Island." I don't know if you heard it there. It's number 9 on the album, and it's kind of written from their perspective. If you know what I mean, that song is a song written about growing up during the early 70s, late 70s in the north, and the struggle that I suppose an Irish Republican and a nationalist would have had to put up with. I think it just tells the story from. It would have been not so much from my perspective, but from my older brothers. Definitely, they would have.
Moves us on to the next part of Tarashi. Obviously, I've heard you talking a lot about your Republican sort of roots and your beliefs. So, see, back then when you first moved down south, did you sort of sense that you were, and this sounds a bit silly, but there's a sort of motive yet. Did you sort of sense that you were maybe moving to like a different country in any way? Because I think we've been to like we sort of Butlins every year and all stuff as well, whatever. And obviously it did, because it's like the people talk different, like, and they have different money and stuff, whatever, and kind of thing. And like it sort of felt like it was a million miles away you're moving to, and obviously it was only about 100 miles up the road. It wasn't that far, like whatever. But I mean, did you sort of suffer? Did you sort of suffer any sort of at the start any like hostility. I mean, in a way, the sort of like attitude of all bloody Northerners, sort of, when you're moving up.
Yeah.
I mean, from sort of people in the south. 'Cause I've heard other people sort of saying when they obviously first moved to Dublin, or like there were certain parts of Dublin, obviously there's a lot more working class areas and some not so working class, and they're sort of seen as like, bloody Emmons come up, leaving their troubles there and bring them here with them, kind of way, like.
100%. You're actually on the money there. When we, the last thing I remember, I mean, I say I moved away, but you're like, I'm up now. I'm up and down every week now, like, so it's not really like, you know. But the last thing I remember, like, was basically, I remember being in the school, the primary school that I was in East Tyrone, and I remember we were in PE class, and next thing I remember, my mother just, she was over in the corner, and the teacher just kind of said, Kevin, can you go and see your mother? And within 3.5 hours later, we were in Dublin, and that was it. Like,
serious, Jesus.
And it was just, no, I've actually met lads, like, you know, that I was in school with a couple of years ago, like, but I hadn't seen them in about, say, nearly 30 years, and like, no, I mean, I've been up and down like all the time, but I actually never got to meet them like until there a couple of years ago. But I do remember, like, the thing is, when you've a northern accent when you're like 10 years of age. Now this is 92. Like, this is not. Nowadays it would be totally different. Like, nowadays Dublin is so multicultural that nobody. It doesn't really matter now what sort of accent you have. But in 92, like, when you have an East Tyrone accent and you're coming down and you're thrown into a school in West Dublin, you're kind of like I still remember to this day, like. And it wasn't their fault, you know. It wasn't the students' fault. Like, they didn't really know what way to take me, because I was probably foreign to them, you know. Strange.
It'll be the same if you're here, like, where somebody, even a kid from the south comes up and just like, oh, where are you coming from? I know you're only down the street, but it's just. But I think even like in the north, with their accents, like, it's crazy, because I'm up and down the country all day long delivering out in the lorry. You could drive somewhere like 20 miles down the road, and these people are talking like a completely different, like, language nearly. You're like, what the hell? I mean, you're coming from Belfast into Ballymena and all, hey, baby, you know, and you're like, it's bonkers. So it is, like, it's crazy.
Yeah.
So see, music-wise, you've recorded and written a lot of stuff over the years, from sort of rock to country to rebel, like, but say, would, like, as far as sort of say that the rebel stuff is like where your heart really lies, like, so it is. That's where sort of, I think now you've done certain stuff and you tried it, but this is like your baby. This is where you love getting the sort of the soul of sort of playing out, like.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, I mean, the rebel music is just something that I like since I came out of the womb. That's all I basically raised on rebel music, like. And I mean, myself and all my siblings, and we just, that's all we heard. Like, I remember going to work with my dad, like, you know, and you know, back then, the cassette tapes, you know, and Little Me Granny's Bin, like Lock, Shield and Eviction, all those songs are just ingrained in the hard drive. Like, they just they never leave you. Like, but 100% the rebel music would definitely be. It's just something. It's in your genetics. It's in your DNA. It's something that can never leave you. Like, but I mean, there's other music as well. Like, you know, I mean. I love the rebel, but, you know, it's very hard to limit yourself to just one style of music as well. Like, I mean, like, I love Nirvana. I don't know if you know Nirvana. Like, I'm sure you know Nirvana. Or Rage Against the Machine and Foo Fighters and Red Hot Chili Peppers. Like, I love all them bands as well. But it's very, like, I would definitely center around the rebel music, but I couldn't, like. Certainly, if I'm doing a gig, somebody will ask me to play, you know, Brown Eyed Girl or something like that, or, you know, I'll play it. You know what I mean?
Don't say Wagon Wheel. Come on, would you have to play much Wagon Wheel?
Oh, jeez, I've sang it in karaoke a couple of times, badly.
I see. Listen to a couple of your stream stuff. You love a bit of Johnny Cash today as well. So what's your favourite Johnny Cash tune?
Oh, I love Johnny Cash. I love them all. I mean, Ring of Fire would be brilliant. Or Folsom Prison Blues. Well, changed that to Facebook Prison Blues, but
Facebook Prison Blues, aye.
But no, he's brilliant. Again, see, my mother and father would have been big country and western music fans as well. So that's I love I love all the country and western stuff as well. So I suppose the Ring of Fire would have to be my favourite of Johnny Cash. You know.
I think definitely Boy Named Sue, like, I just love it. It's just so funny. Listen to the words. That's what it's like. Very, very good. Like, so can you remember like the very first proper gig like you done as like a sort of solo artist, and was it a disaster? Like everybody else says it was. You know, anybody you speak to, they're like, oh, that first gig I done, it was just a complete sort of fuck up from the very start, and I wish I had it. I mean, it's just, I want the crowd just to bury me up and sort of, I mean, maybe your lead wasn't plugged in properly, or whatever, you're using a stamp box and it wasn't working, or the mic wasn't on, or it was too far away from you or something, whatever. Like.
Yeah, I do remember I was 17, and I suppose, like over the years, you know, like the more you're on stage, the more confident you become, but at 17, you just haven't developed those skills, you know. I certainly hadn't developed them. Yeah. And I remember doing a singing in front of me school, the secondary school.
What song were you singing?
Oh, geez, I actually remember. I don't know if you remember that song. There were an American band, Semisonic, called Closing Time.
Right.
A song called Closing Time. And I was, somebody actually done a video of it. This one, I'm 40 now, so this would have been 23 years ago. And somebody done a video of it, and they played it back, and I got to see it on VHS. And sweet holy Jesus, it was the worst thing I ever seen. I said, I don't know whether I have that video, but I hope somebody destroyed it anyway.
So where was actually the first gig in a bar you done?
First gig in a bar would have been when I was 18 in the Clifton Court Hotel on the Quays in Dublin, just on Aston Quay there, just after O'Connell Street. And I was so nervous that I think I actually drank about 15 pints or something. And I barely remember it now. But we sounded horrible. There was three of us. I remember Andrew Downey, if you're watching there, he was the drummer, and Anto Carter, Anto Carter from Blanchardstown. The three of us got hammered. And again, we're 18.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Oh, here. I hope no one ever has a video of that. We were shocking.
Well, you had to start somewhere. You know, that's it.
You do. But like, we fond memories of it. Obviously, it was a great laugh. You know, when you're 18, you're just kind of learning, and you're figuring out if you're any good. And at 18, I certainly wasn't.
So it's before we sort of talk about your album, so I want to talk first about lockdown. As that word, it's crazy to say. Like it's still mad talking about lockdown, whatever. Like, but it's just it's probably one of them words that'll be in the next dictionary. So, well, like lockdown. For the vast majority of maybe sort of new sort of found fans you have now, including myself, I have to say, would never knew you at all, Kev, until obviously these sort of Facebook live streams started and the lockdown thing happened. So tell us firstly about your first Facebook live gig, and then secondly, how has sort of the lockdown gigs probably in a good way changed your life? Like,
it has, yeah. I mean, I do remember the first gig that I done during lockdown, and obviously the only reason why I think most of us started gigging online was because there was no other alternative, because obviously COVID put a stop to the whole gigging in pubs. And just sitting at home one day, I was actually I was involved with the Tyrone Dublin Association just before lockdown, and they I think we all I done a couple of gigs with the Tyrone Dublin Association, and during COVID we tried to organise a Zoom gig, and the Zoom gig went very well. It was just me gigging in the house here, and went very well. And then after that, I've seen a few other people, you know, gigging on Facebook, going live. And again, going live on Facebook, genuinely, before COVID, I don't think
It wasn't heard of. No,
It wouldn't-
nobody done it. Yeah, it wasn't, definitely
Nobody
wasn't.
done it, and it wouldn't have even interested me. I wouldn't have even thought about it. Like, it's just something that I never done. And it all started because obviously the likes of yourself as well. We had no alternative really, and again, I just went live for the first time, very nervous again, not knowing what to expect, not knowing who was out there at all, not knowing who was showing the world like whether I can sing or play the guitar or not, But I mean, the feedback I got, you gradually get to know people, and I will say, over the course of the last 3 years throughout COVID, I'm sure it's probably the same for yourself, Rory, is that I've met some brilliant friends. I've actually made some really good friends through going on Facebook Live, people that I genuinely call like lifelong friends.
Yeah, as you say there, Kev, it's like, as I said this when I was talking to Kieran there 2 weeks ago, exactly the same for me. I mean, it's obviously we're going to talking for the third Big Fans Gathering gig, and like, I mean, to me, I would never even have had an idea to do, and obviously it was the people on the show wanted it to happen, and there's just so many people now that I've met that I've went and had nights out with. They've come stay at my house, to me, and stuff, and I just count them all as personal friends now because of this crazy thing that we're doing now that you met, and it's. Obviously, you said when you were talking about Michael's interview, obviously COVID was a terrible thing. A lot of people died from it, whatever, and it was handled wrongly in a lot of ways by the government and all. But I mean, in so many good ways, it brought, things out as well. Obviously, for the likes of these, Facebook Live gigs. So many artists now that say just like yourself, I would never have heard of before, and now, because of their sort of newfound fame on Facebook, the live gigs, they're out now gigging 3 and 4 times a week in bars because people have sort of discovered them, like so have.
Yeah, it's brilliant. Like, it is one of the best things I've ever done. Again, it probably took me a bit of a push to do it in the beginning because I was a bit kind of not knowing what to expect, But it's again, once I done it, and I realised that like the feedback from people were enjoying it. People were kind of getting a few cans in, and obviously sitting down, having the crack, and streaming one of the gigs on their television. It. And I mean, it's still kind of a bit of a shock to the system that Jesus, like during COVID, I was actually somebody's entertainment.
That's crazy. It's mad, 'cause I know like a load of yours, you done yours in the kitchen, see that? After you were saying about there's times your kids were in there to the kitchen all the time, where your wife was sitting watching TV in the background, though, and it was just you're going trying to keep the noise down, like.
Yeah, the door would be like a conveyor belt there. There'd be people knocking on the door saying, "Is Killian coming out?" Or like, and I'd be like, "Shut the up!" Like, you'd be. No, I'd have to break character. Like, I'd be trying to stay all professional during the gig, and next thing, like, the door would be open, and I'd be like,
"Close that fucking door!
Close that! What? I'm telling you now, if I have to get up out of here now." But and then next thing you'd hear the EastEnders theme tune in the other room, like, so you'd be like, "Jesus." Yeah, now we've a dog now, so if I do go live, you might hear barking on the background. So.
Are they trying to jump up on you? They're playing the guitar, like.
Yeah.
So lockdown was mad, like. So obviously, we'll move on to your album now. So a while ago, you made your sort of way up the Uncle Hugo country, aka Strabane, to obviously the home of True Tone Studios and the legendary Eamon Styx Doherty. And obviously, we'll get into Styx in a wee minute and talk about him. So firstly, tell me about the album name, right? What's the sort of the story behind the name, and secondly, the song choices, including the few original songs that are on the album. How did you go about picking what ones you wanted to put on it?
The album title, Rebel Blood, Fenian Heart. I wanted something strong, and I wanted something to just represent the way I feel, like, the way I personally feel about being an Irish nationalist, and how much Ireland means to me, like, and how much, being raised in rebel music, I just wanted something to identify how I personally feel about being Irish and what it means to me. So I came up. I mean, it's I had to call it something. So I just decided Rebel Blood, Fenian Heart, and the songs. I mean, I've always written songs. I've got about. No word of a lie, I've got about 150 songs that I still need to record. It's just a matter of getting into the studio and recording them. But like Aidan McAnaspey, that I said I had to put that on the album. It's just I had to put a version of that song because it just the whole story of Aidan McAnaspey. It's such a tragic story, and especially when Aidan's murderer is still out there, and it strikes a very emotional chord with people. Letting Me Granny's Bin is just from Nappies. I've been listening to that song, and Sniper's Promise again. That song, that's my favorite song. Like it's always been my favorite. And my good friend there, Joe Duffy. I don't know if Joe's watching there. Joe always, throughout COVID, always asked me to play two songs, which was Sniper's Promise and the Ballad of Pierce Jordan. So I said I have to put one of those songs on the album as well. So pick Sniper's Promise because I think I play that one slightly better than the Ballad of Pierce Jordan. Although I do love that song as well. Rebel Soul. That's the song I wrote myself. I was actually playing. I was messing around on the guitar one night, and you know that song Armagh Sniper.
Yeah.
I was messing around, and
I was wondering where the sort of the riff that came. I've heard that before. That's from Armagh Sniper, and yes, right.
Well, I was learning Armagh Sniper because I love that song as well, and I was messing around with the guitar, and I put the capo on the 4th fret and said, "Geez," and I was strumming away, and I started humming, and so that song Rebel Soul how I wrote that. I was originally trying to learn Armagh Sniper, and through Armagh Sniper came that song Rebel Soul.
That's actually the one I'm going to play at the end of the interview, so we'll talk a bit about it. See, actually, just a couple of other songs. Obviously, another song, probably one of the most popular Rebel songs out there is the Sam song you have on it. Obviously written by a man not too far from you, Jerry Glacken, where you actually originally live. What way did you? Because I see when you started playing that song, what way? How did you get that sound with the sort of it's a real sort of? Did you put the capo on, or just to make it tight, the strings tight, or something, or?
No, it's just like a beat. It's basically like there's a
right. Obviously, it doesn't come across great here in the sound, but when you hear it in the album, it's really good. Like it sounds as if you aren't playing the guitar at all. It's a real strange sound. Like so, it's very good.
Yeah. There's a stomp box there as well. I used the stomp box during the live gigs as well. So it's just basically a combination. The introduction of that song on the album is just basically me strumming the guitar like in a kind of beatbox type of way. Yeah. But also at the same time I'm kind of using the foot stomp box just to try to create a beat like.
Do you think you having the background playing the drums will give you a bit of advantage by playing the stomp box with the guitar? Because I've sort of seen so many like solo singers out there, right? And maybe people that are maybe great singers, great guitarists, but they really have absolutely no rhythm at all. When they'll just want to bring the stomp box out just to have something extra, and you hear them in the and they're maybe a bit sort of they're way off key from they're just hitting it for the sake of it. You're going like that just sounds like. I mean, listen to yourself there. What I mean, if you can't do it, don't be playing it like at all.
Yeah, absolutely no. I mean, the stomp box it just adds an extra dimension. The gigs that I played before I started using the stomp box and the ones after, they're like chalk and cheese because. You can actually see the difference in the people, the crowd in the pub. You can see
definitely. Yeah,
the stomp box it just makes people like nobody kind of before I started using the stomp box for the live gigs in the pubs, there was people moving and kind of dancing a little bit, but then once you add the stomp box, like the drum. It's like basically like a drum machine.
Yeah.
It's just, I mean, everyone.
Well,
I
adds
mean, I've
something
seen
different.
people dancing on tables and dancing on seats. It's just,
Oh, aye.
it's
Yep.
just, it's the one thing you kind of love. Like, you just love to see people enjoying themselves. Like, I
Yeah.
love to see people up dancing and letting the music just kind of take them over, you know. And the stomp box just adds so much to a live performance, you know.
Definitely, as soon as that beat comes in, you can just people like, as he was coming to the chorus, you just see people raising, like just going and arms in the air, just give them a wee extra sort of oomph there. So
Yeah.
we're now going to talk about Styx. Obviously, you recorded your album up in Styx's studio. Now, I have so much admiration for this guy, probably particularly over the last few weeks, month, because I've sort of had a few dealings with him, so I have. And obviously, I've new Styx for it there, but just the way I was talking to him in these last couple of conversations, listening to the album, it's sort of clear that he's had so much input into it. So he has, obviously, not just like the mastering and the mixing, but I sort of lost count about listening to the other instruments that are being played on the album. I think, obviously, as well, because he done Marty McGuinness's album and Liam McDonald's album, and exactly as well, I mean, you can hear all the instruments Styx has played, banjo and stuff, mandolin, whatever it is in the background. So it is like, so tell me a wee bit about first why you wanted to choose to go to Styx's studio to record the album, and then a bit about obviously what input he had into the sort of other instruments on the album.
The Styx first came about with, you know, Bobby Fields there. Bobby.
Yeah.
I don't know
he done Bobby's album as well. Yes, I forgot about Bobby's album as well. Yeah.
He done me and Bobby would be in touch fairly regularly. Like, and I was asking him because Bobby had made a Rebel album, and I was curious because I wanted to make one myself. And I asked Bobby. He said, "Bobby, I'm thinking of making a Rebel album. Where did you get yours made?" And they put me in touch with Eamon Styx, and I mean, I contacted Styx and said I want to put an album together. I said, get your song list ready, get it. Styx he's a perfectionist. I will say he's a perfectionist.
Yeah.
And I will say the man, like, I know he probably doesn't want to hear it, but in my opinion, the guy's a genius. Like, he's just,
yeah.
He, like, the guy. He says, make sure you're ready before you come up to the studio. Make sure you have your 10 songs nailed. You know, even when you're sick of playing them over and over again, play them again. Even when you're sick of playing them, play them again. So I had this 10 songs nailed down, basically what's on the album there. But like you said, I mean, Styx can play like something like 16 or 17 instruments.
Amazing.
You know,
yeah.
And he's very unassuming, like, you know. I mean, he adds so much to I mean, what you hear on that album, Styx, just the ukulele, there's a bellron, there's what you call the ulan pipes. He just, like, he's just in his studio. He's absolutely the amount that he adds into that CD and the album on Spotify there. I mean, what he adds, to be honest, if it was just me, the album would have sounded probably not great.
Yeah.
You know,
be good, but,
you know, he's just the guy's just a musical genius and an absolute gentleman as well, I will say.
Yeah, definitely. So it's see the album itself. So a few people are asking there, and is it still for sale, or do you have any just available on Spotify, or what? Is there any hard copies of it, or?
Oh yeah, no, I have about 35 copies on CD, but I put it up on Spotify because, you know, I know some people still listen to CDs. You know, I mean, me personally,
very rare.
CD.
Very rare.
It's just you know, I haven't bought a CD. No joke. Like, in about, well, it has to be over 15 years. I haven't bought a CD. Like, it's just the way things are now. Everything is streamed, you know. But I do know that a lot of people still listen to CDs. So for that reason, I do have about, you know, I do sell a couple, you know, gigs here and there. You know, no, I wouldn't sell that many like at gigs. You know what I mean? But you know, see, it's more kind of on Spotify now. People just listen.
Well,
you know?
See, I know, like, I sort of keep banging on about this here, and when I get people on, it's like, I think a lot of artists see Spotify as, they're basically taking our music and stealing it and stuff, and we're not making no money from it, whatever. But I think a lot of people have to look at the bigger picture of what Spotify's for. I mean, you're using it to get yourself out there. I mean, you're using it so people can hear your music. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then obviously they come and see you playing then, whatever, and that's where you get the benefit of it from, rather than sort of selling a few CDs, like. So it is.
Of course, like, I mean, as a musician, you know, like obviously if you're able to make money from music, it's great. Like, but I mean, with Spotify, I certainly don't plan to make a whole lot out of Spotify. Like, I don't think many of us do. Like, but you know, as long as people get to hear it, I don't really mind. You know what I mean? As long as somebody's, if somebody asks me, you know, I want to hear your music, Kev, like, I can just give them the Spotify link. It's just so much easier, you know.
Straight away, yeah.
But no, I do. Some people still do send me a message asking, like, that they'd like to buy a CD, you know. So I mean, I still have CDs available, and I still sell a couple of CDs, you know, all over the place, like, you know. But yeah, it's mainly Spotify now, you know.
I opened up the interview with obviously a personal affair man, sort of said that Little McGranny's been, and sort of talking coming obviously from West Belfast. The song's very relatable, so it is obviously, because it's like it happened all over the place. Obviously, the women were with the bindles. I mean, it's sort of be interesting to hear. Did that actually happen? Did that process happen up and down the country? I mean, did it happen in Tyrone as well? I mean, sort of like did what happened there? When sort of did warn people off, like when the Brits are coming into your garden or whatever? Or I mean,
I think it would have been more I think it would have been more of a city thing now. I don't have to ask me. I have to ask my parents whether it happened. I'm sure they. But for me, like, Little Me Granny's been, it would have been definitely more of a Belfast thing, wouldn't it? Like, I would have imagined, you know. But I mean, it's in East Tyrone. I'm sure it would have been a way to let their neighbours know that the Brits were around.
I think I was this week. Obviously, I was very pleased to announce on Thursday that you're going to be playing at this year's big fans gathering for us in December at Sarsfields. So now, obviously, it won't be the first time you've played in Belfast, but you've particularly played obviously in the north, in Ardoyne a lot, and Antrim Road and all as well. How do you find sort of playing because I know you'd said you love playing gigs in the north. It's just different gravy. You know what I mean? You get their different reception to the songs. But how have you sort of found playing the audiences in Belfast in particular? So I know, like, especially in Ardoyne, I do a lot of gigs over there, and to me it's going like a different country. So it is. I know we're only 5 minutes across the road, but Westies and Northies is a sort of thing there. I mean, always a sort of big rivalry. But people from Ardoyne in the north are very unforgiving, like, and take no shit. If you go in and sort of think you're not sort of great, they're not doing, they'll let you know. Like, I mean, so how have you sort of found playing in Belfast in general, like?
The pubs I play, like the likes of the Hole in the Wall there, the Glen Park, like, I'd say I love it. I love it. Like, the Hole in the Wall for me is one of my most favorite places to play. It really is. Especially, like, obviously, you know, if I would sometimes play before a Celtic and Rangers game, and sometimes after it, like, when you have that crowd fired up, like, you know, I mean, every gig is different, but when you have the crowd, like, up for it, like, that's just like in the likes in Belfast and in Derry as well. Like, I play up in Derry City as well. Like, I mean, it just seems the rebel music just seems to mean more. It just you can tell 100%. Now, that's not to say that, like, people in Dublin love the rebel music as well here, you know. But it just, you know, you're striking a chord more in the north, really. Like, you know what I mean? 100%.
Yeah, I think the songs mean maybe more to people in the north because obviously we've sort of lived through it. Do you know what I mean? I think obviously in the south as well. I mean, people they like the rebel stuff in the songs. And you do get good reception. But I think in the north, people are more like they feel sort of more aggrieved by the Brits, you know what I mean? Because we've sort of lived through it day and daily throughout our whole lives, you know what I mean?
Absolutely, yeah.
So when you were interviewed there by Michael McCormick last year, you were sort of saying that you were in the process of trying to get a Scottish tour organised. Did that ever come to fruition, or is there any plans? Because I know people are saying here, when do you come to Scotland, Kev? When you come to Scotland, or is there any plans to go over there and play in a few bars? Or
Definitely, it's something. It's definitely on the list. I need to definitely put a plan in place to play in Scotland. Now, I've been over to Scotland a good few times, but I've never done a gig in Scotland. And it was last year. Now I was brought over to the Shamrock Bar in Benidorm to play a couple of gigs, which I loved. I love that now, and I definitely hope to be over again this summer. But yeah, I definitely have to plan a Scottish tour, a couple of dates. It hasn't happened yet, and it's just a matter of finding the time and getting some of the mind the kids and. But it's there. No, 100%. It is going to happen. It hasn't happened yet, but definitely.
Well, if you think playing in the people in Belfast, you'll get some buzz. Scotland, mate, is just completely. It blow you out of the water. Like it's the passion that people over there have. Like not just in Glasgow, but over Scotland. Like it's just like I think sometimes like they're more Irish than we are. Like because I mean the passion like Scottish people have is just like it's crazy.
Yeah. Like you would. I mean, I'm a rebel music fan, but like I could go over to Scotland and they would know more rebel songs than I would. You know what I mean? I mean, like it's just that's a very true statement. That like sometimes they can feel more Irish than I am. You know, it's just they live and breathe the Irish music, which is great to see.
So listen, I'm going to play one more song here off the album. Obviously, for me, Kev definitely is my favourite song on the album. When I listened to it all, as that day, you said I put it on the lorry. It was driving Derry or something, whatever, and I had it all listened to it. But it's your own original track, Rebel Soul. So it is. So you sort of mentioned briefly earlier on. So tell us a bit about this track, what it's about, and sort of obviously you'd said there about the Armagh Sniper was the sort of the riff behind the song. So tell us about what the song is about.
The song's about, the song came about through the Armagh Sniper. That's how the riff came along.
Yeah.
And obviously the words, songwriting can be a bit like a kind of I don't remember that singer, Carly Simon. She always said that songwriting is a bit like a maths equation. You're trying to figure things out. And I find sometimes if something's on my mind and I'm trying to, I would write a lot. I would do a lot of writing. And songwriting for me is kind of like therapy, really. Like I can just, if you have something on your mind, and that Rebel Soul was kind of on my mind. It just, the whole idea that Irish history is not taught in England. Do you know what I mean? Like we obviously Irish history is taught in Irish schools, but the English people, I suppose the generation nowadays, it's not their fault that they haven't been made aware of the misery that the older generation of English people. It's not like the present generation. They're inheriting the sins of their forefathers, I suppose. So the Irish history is not taught in English schools. So and I wanted to write a song from like a 32 county point of view. I wanted to write a song. Rebel Soul, basically, it's about, even to this day, that we're still, I personally still want a 32 county United Ireland under the tricolour. That's what I want. But I want it done through peaceful means. That's what, Rebel Soul just basically represents the struggle that the Irish people, the Irish went through. against the foreign occupation of our own island.
But before I play the song, just something else I want to bring up. Obviously, you're playing a lot of these bars, and I spoke to a couple of people that said that they bumped into like different volunteers' families and stuff. So you had said that you were playing in Rosie Joe's, and I think it was George's brother spoke to you. I'd say, was it or Pop's brother?
Yes.
After you'd sung the song, and obviously you spoke to Teresa Jordan as well when after singing Pierce Jordan. You didn't know at the time it was Teresa. How did did it feel? Obviously, you're on the stage and you're doing these songs. It must be like very emotional when one of their family members actually says to you, like, that's my brother or my son. I mean, you just sung that song there brilliantly, like.
Oh, yeah, that I do remember both times. I remember I was in the hole in the wall, and again, I had never met Teresa before that time, and I think Anne Marie was there as well. Anne Marie Barkley was there, but I'd never met Teresa, and I was playing because again, Joe will always ask me to sing the ballad of Pierce Jordan, and again, I love singing it. It's a beautiful song.
It is indeed, yeah.
And again, I had no idea that there was a couple of women sitting in close proximity, and I think when the gig was over, this woman came up to me and says, "Thank you for singing Pierce. Thank you for singing me son's song." And I said, and I just kind of I couldn't believe it.
Froze like, yeah.
When you sing these songs, you don't really know, like you don't think that
it makes them more personal. So it does, like,
yeah,
I think when you sing it.
I had no idea that the people involved in these songs were actually in the same venue. I just had no idea, and I was just so relieved that I had done the song justice according to Teresa. I was delighted that she was happy because it would have really, I suppose it really would. I'm just so glad that I'd done a good job, and Teresa was happy with the version that I had done of the song. Yeah. And I mean, it was such a pleasure to meet Teresa. She's a lovely woman.
And, a lot of time for her. Yeah, indeed.
Yeah, I was just so relieved that I'd done the song. I done Teresa proud, and Joe obviously, Joe loves the song as well. So, but yeah, it's a beautiful song, and I know what the song means to people.
A lot of people, yeah, especially in West Belfast here. Like, it's even like any time I'm in the Rocklands played, whatever. Jerry Ogle always played, and you can just see a group of people. They'll just get in a big circle and a big hug and singing the song. Obviously, it happened literally right across the road from the Rock Bar as well. I mean, it's it's a very, very emotional song. Right, so listen, Kev, we're going to play your original track now, Rebel Soul, from the album Rebel Blood, Fenian Heart. So, mate, thank you very much. It's been a great interview. Cheers for coming on today.
Brilliant, thanks.
The feedback has been fantastic. Just watching the comments here. We'll try and get a few whenever the song's finished. So, mate, if I don't see you, well, I can't wait to see you in December here at our gig, the Big Fans Gathering. So, really looking forward to having you on stage. I swear.
Yeah, definitely, mate. I'm looking forward to it. And you were right earlier on. I'll bust me ass to get on the show. Was.
Well, good man. Listen, enjoy the rest of your day. Are you playing the night anywhere? Are you?
Yeah, I'm in Cleary's now. 6 o'clock till 8 o'clock. So yeah, I'll be finishing up here, and I'll be heading down to Cleary's. So I'll be playing Cleary's here in Inchicord in Dublin from 6 o'clock to 8 o'clock this evening. So I'll probably put the live feed on the page as well,
I see another fellow East Tronian, Emer, is playing Dublin as well tonight. She's playing St Finbar's GA club on this evening as well, so she is. So the Northies are taking over, yeah. Right, so okay, listen, thanks very much, mate. Appreciate you for coming on, gentlemen.
Thanks for having me, Rory. Thanks, mate.
No problem, mate. Thanks. There you go, folks. So that was Kevin Driscoll. Great interview, so it was. Went over probably a bit longer than we sort of normally have the guests on, but that was good wee chat. So it was. So yeah, we're going to play Kev's original track now, Rebel Soul from his album. So here we go. It's Kevin Driscoll, folks, on Rebel Sundays with if I can get this thing turned on. It's you want to freeze now on me. Let's see. There we go. This is from his album Rebel Blood, Fenian Heart. This is Rebel Soul from Kevin Driscoll.
Oh, we are the land of Erin, We live in peace, not to cause a fuss. But when you invaded our island, you brought the fight to us. Oh, you forced your rule upon our land with your coward, unprovoked attacks. But you underestimated us, 'cause this land, we're taking it back. 'Cause the green blood flows in our Fenian hearts. Yes, it flows green, white and gold. You can bury us down beneath the dirt, but we'll rise a rebel soul, a rebel soul. Oh, the foreign lands you occupied, in your museums you have stolen jewels. For fear your kids might get offended, you don't teach history in schools. Well, in Derry, Cork, Clare and Dublin, we won't stop till the battle's won. In Tyrone, Galway, Antrim and Kerry, 32 counties equals 1. 'Cause the green blood flows in our Fenian hearts. Yes, it flows green, white and gold. You can bury us down beneath the dirt, but we'll rise a rebel soul, a rebel soul, a rebel soul, a rebel soul, a rebel soul. Say a prayer for our Fenian dead. They died for Irish freedom's cause. Their voices call out for justice, to break down their British laws. Long Kesh, Gibraltar and Loughgall, and our heroes of 1916. We remember all of our leaders as we fight for our liberty. 'Cause the green blood flows in our Fenian hearts. Yes, it flows green, white and gold. You can bury us down beneath the dirt, but we'll rise a rebel soul. 'Cause the green blood flows in our Fenian hearts. Yes, it flows green, white and gold. You can bury us down beneath the dirt, but we'll rise a rebel soul, 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 a rebel soul.
Absolutely class there, folks. That there's the original track "Rebel Soul" from Kevin Driscoll from his album Rebel Blood, Fenian Hearts. So really, really good interview, Kev. So cheers for coming on. The comments all the way through it were probably, from any guest we've had on, to be honest, it's probably had the most interaction. Probably one of the most biggest viewers as well when the interview's been on. So Kev, cheers, mate. I say I won't see you. Can't wait to see you at our gig in December, folks. Yeah. So I'll just mention that again now for you as well. We'll play the video at the start of the here is the flyer for the gig. So the official, the big, I'll turn this bloody see off so I get my name. It's in the background there. I'm a bit of a perfectionist. That was doing my head in. Yeah, so folks, the Big Fans Gathering 3 is going to be taking place this year at the Sarsfields GA Club in West Belfast, just off Lennon there. So it is. Actually, it's a new venue. So it is. It's probably the third year. It's a different venue, but I'm really, really hoping that this could be our main venue now, so good for this gig. It's I've done countless amount of gigs in this bar over the years. It's a nice stage, nice hall. It's just been newly renovated the last couple of years, so it's a lovely room. Cheap drinks, so it is. So you're all really going to enjoy it. I'll get a few videos up and pictures of the hall so you can all see. So, folks, yep, we'll have 3 big acts come back, obviously, for the third year in a row. We'll have Clover headlining the gig. So we'll have They come from County Limerick for the one night only. Then, in my eyes, probably the most in-demand act on the Rebel scene anywhere at the minute. A good friend of the show, good friend of mine, Shay Doolan, has come over from Liverpool for the weekend. He's playing at the gig for us, so really looking forward to having Shay in. And obviously, and kicking things off, Kev, who's coming from Dublin for the night of the gig, who just seen is going to be starting the show off for us. I'll be there as well, folks, myself, Big Row. I'll be playing a few tunes at the start and in between the bands and maybe at the end as well. So tickets, folks, are £15. I know you say inflation, but listen, it's, I think for what the gig is, it's nothing. It isn't a lot of money, you know what I mean? So you can get the tickets from my website, my merchandise website, folks. You can see it. It's scrolling across the bottom of the page here, plus on the flyer here. So it's on from rebelpodcast.bigcartel.com. That's where you can buy your tickets for the gig. I say, from we released them on Friday morning, lots went through on Friday, a few yesterday as well, a few today already. So folks, get your tickets for this gig. Say it isn't a massive hall, but it is a big hall. But Ongo says, I don't want people to say, I left it and didn't get a ticket. I have a big feeling that this year it's going to be a big show. A lot of people, especially because Shay is playing as well, really want tickets. A lot of people have bought tickets that didn't have them in the last two, you know. So I know there's going to be a lot of new faces. So always says, get on and get your tickets, folks. If any of us don't use like sort of PayPal or like don't want to go on online shopping, send me a PM, whatever. And if you want to say, listen, look, can you keep me a couple of tickets, whatever? And I know you're going to go. I will keep you the tickets and I can get the money off you, whatever. But let me know, because I don't want people to lose out. Especially a lot of the fans of the show have went to all the other two gigs before, you know, and I just don't want people, because the bar have told me, listen mate, once there's a certain amount of people in, nobody else is getting in this hall, or they have a ticket or not, I mean, kind of way. So I want as many people to try and come to the gig as possible. So what there's on Saturday the 2nd of December, it's the Big Fans Gathering 3, Sarsfield CA Club, West Belfast. Doors open 7 o'clock, and first singer on, Kev, at 8 o'clock, folks, then right through with Shay Doolan, and then Clover to finish things off. So hopefully, and plus don't forget the next day as well, we'll be in our annual sort of after party live podcast. So the venue that there is just yet to be sorted, but that isn't the big issue. The Saturday is the main issue. So again, thanks for the committee and the staff of Sarsfields for providing the venue. So I'm really hoping this is going to be our main venue for this gig going forward. So hopefully see us all there, folks. I know a few people have bought tickets while the show has been on today, and a few people have bought tickets this morning as well. So get your tickets at rebelpodcast.bigcartel.com. So where am I? Right, back to get my ugly mug on the screen for you. Right, so we'll go. Loads of comments coming through here about the interview and stuff. We'll call a few more of them out. Right, folks, we're here to 4 o'clock, so another hour and 20 minutes still to go today's show. So if you want a song on, get it in, get a request in. We'll go to this one here, especially from Marty Kane, who asked for it. So again, big congrats to Joanne and Joseph, who got married, Marty's daughter and his new son-in-law. I had the pleasure of playing at their wedding there a few weeks ago up in the Roddies. Twice Daly as well played before me, so it was a great night. So big congrats to the happy couple. So Marty, this one spicy for you. He was looking at Krista Coyle, who was playing there on Friday night along with her and Patter Browns. I seen a few videos. Brilliant gig, Krista, well done. So this is from Krista's album, From the Streets of Free Diary. This is Death Before Revenge.
Call me what you will, oh, and tell me what they say, for tomorrow brings a new wind and the rain has gone away. For within these walls and I see the sun as it shines over the hill, tiny into those valleys and amongst the daffodils. Happen when this war is over and I see your face again, then I'll tell you of the warriors who put death before revenge. O'Hara, Hughes, McCreation, Sands, Doherty and Lynch, McDonnell, Herson, Michael, we divine, forever in our minds.
There's our Chris there, folks. Chris the Coyle from her album From the Streets of Free Derry with Death Before Revenge, especially for Marty Kane, that one, mate. There you go. Right, so what time are we on? 2:45. Another hour and 15 minutes to go for you late, folks. So loads of requests coming through. Go try and get them in. I say, if you've asked for a request and I haven't played it yet, just keep putting it in. And don't think you're torturing me, because sometimes a lot of the comments fly past and I don't see them. I don't want you to think I've seen your comment and haven't played your song. You know what I mean? Right, so next week, folks, obviously we shouldn't be here next week, but we are going to be here next week because Easter weekend, the show won't be on. So next Sunday, a bit of a brain fart there, the 2nd of April, we'll have Sean Daly. He's an absolutely wild man, Sean, from the band in America, or Sean Daly and the Shams. Brilliant band, just on a tour there with the Irish Brigade all around America. So they did. So Sean's going to be coming on the show next Sunday, folks. To say the next scheduled show shouldn't be until Easter weekend, but obviously because it's Easter weekend, I have a lot of gigs on and working away. So we haven't got a show on, so we're going to do next Sunday. So just get that in your heads, folks. Next Sunday is on, right? Easter weekend we'll have no show, so next Sunday the show is definitely on. Our guest is going to be Sean Daly, so live from America, folks. And it's going to be, he was telling me, it's going to be 6 o'clock in the morning, live over there from where he is. If I get him in on 2 o'clock over here, it's 6 a.m. So that's dedication for you. So fair play to Sean Daly here, who's coming on the show next week. Looking forward to having him on. Right, so next weekend, folks, I'm going to be exclusively in the Rock Bar all weekend. So I am. So kicking off things from on Saturday the 8th. Hold on a second. All right, mister. What have you got for me? Hold on a wee second. Let's get this here off the screen here. Wait a minute. Come on in, Colonel. Right, come over and see me. What have you got for me? Come on, let everybody see you.
He made this for you.
You made that for me?
Chocolate muffin.
Are you being shy?
No, I put that on.
He's way running.
No, very well. No, I'll take that. Give him that. So I had to give him one.
He was trying to steal my twirl, so he was. But thank you very much. There we go. See? A bit later than usual, but thanks very much, Mother, anyway. It's much appreciated. Cheers, Colonel, as well, for coughing all of my bun. You see, this is live for you, folks. People just interrupt you, but you're bringing in a nice cup of tea. You can't complain. So what was I saying? Yes, so over Easter weekend, I'm going to be exclusively up in the Rock Bar. Let's just get the graphics back on so we can. So on, oh, what the hell is that? Just burnt the hand on myself there. It was Saturday the 8th, folks. So before and after the Glasgow Derby, I'm going to be on. So I'll be on at the start of them. The doors open at 11 o'clock in the Rock Bar, folks, that morning on Saturday the 8th. So they're expecting a big crowd. A lot of people over from Scotland and also get yourselves out of the Rock. So obviously Celtic playing Rangers at home. So I'm going to be on before the match, playing a few tunes at half-time also. So if there's any goals scored, I'll be playing a few goal celebration songs, and then afterwards, and then followed by Twice Daily. So Twice Daily's going to be on after me. So then Sunday the 9th, it's Easter Sunday, folks. Clover are going to be on first. They're going to be on from 3 to 5. So yeah, Clover are making their proper Rock Bar debut, so they are. From 3 to 5, I'll be on then after them upstairs from 5 to 7. Then on Monday the 10th, which is Easter Monday, folks, Emer is going to be on from 6 till 8, Emer and band, and then I'll be on straight after Emer upstairs as well. It's all free admission, folks. So here's actually the 4 posters the Rock put out. So I'm only putting these on because anybody that supports me, gives me the gigs, I'm going to give them a bit of promotion, okay? So here we go. This is so on Good Friday, in the Rock Bar downstairs, you have Bick McFarland, Jerry Og on Twice Daily. So it's like a bit like a Rebel Sunday, only it's a Rebel Friday. Then on Easter Saturday, the next day, so you have obviously myself and Twice Daily on. And then downstairs, no Rebel music on downstairs, but Anti-Ballroom is on. Then Easter Sunday, folks, vs upstairs. So from 3 o'clock, Clover's on 3 to 5. Then myself from 5 to 7. Then downstairs from 6 o'clock, you have Bick on. Then Jerry Og. Then Twice Daily. Then Easter Monday. You have Emer upstairs from 6, and myself on from 8 o'clock. And downstairs, it's the official Monday Club in the Rock Bar with Robbie McGee. Right, so next tune we're going to do here for you folks is Ciara Griffin asked this one earlier on and say, I was looking to excuse play this here song for a while in the show, but I love it. This thing here, like, it's there's I'm just trying to think who's on this here track. It's a more bit like a reggae-y song. But so it's called that Misa Era. So it features obviously Shandy and the Unity Squad. Cruncher is on it. Shane McGowan is on it. Gary Ogue is on it. Damien Dempsey is on it. And Mary Courtney as well. So you'll hear the voices when this song comes on. I think Shane McGowan this year is very funny. So he is. You just know it's Shane McGowan straight away. So for Ciara, this one's spicy for you. This is Shandy, and the Unity Squad. I need some water with Misa Era on Rebel Sundays.
Misa Era, Misa Era, I love this land, every woman, every man. Misa Era, Misa Era, Workers' Republic and everlasting peace. I am your son, beside the lagoon. Tony Thomas, Trust of Gandhi, United Irishmen, the river flows. Forces of nature carry all in its path to the place it's meant to be. A Misa Era, Misa Era, I love this land, every woman, every man. A Misa Era, Misa Era, Workers' Republic and everlasting peace. I'm your servant. Mother Ireland, wood and brain and sunshine, you set the covers in England. About the Ireland, workers and farmers, not only free but Gaelic, not just Gaelic but also free. Misa Era, Misa Era, I love this land, every woman, every man. Misa Era, Misa Era, Workers' Republic and everlasting peace.
I am your son, beside the Clyde. Brother Walford came to the Gallagate and maintained their dignity. The river flows, forces of nature carry all in its path to the place it's meant to be. A Misa Era, Misa Era, I love this land, every woman, every man. A
Misa Era, Misa Era, Workers' Republic and everlasting peace.
Misa Era, Shinna mail na Kalyak there. More Malor made the rug who Cullen Crow there. More Manoir McClan Fain the ye all war here. Misa Era, Ugini main na Kalyak there.
Misa Era, Misa Era, I love this land, every woman, every man. Misa Era, Misa Era, Workers' Republic and everlasting peace.
I am your daughter, beside Shannon, where Mary Perrons led the killers right merry, dance the river flows. Forces of nature carry all in its path to the place it's meant to be. Misa Era, Misa Era, I love this land, every woman, every man.
Misa Era, Misa Era, Workers' Republic and everlasting peace.
I am your son, beside the Hudson. James Conley came to Albany, told the workers organize, and from his grave evoked the spirit, told the bold Mike Quill to burn the judge's robe. Misa Era, Misa Era, I love this land, every woman, every man.
Misa Era, Misa Era, Workers' Republic and everlasting peace. I am your son, beside the Liffey. Pierce read the proclamation, declared our sovereignty, the river flows. Forces of nature carry all in its path to the place it's meant to be. Misa Era, Misa Era, I love this land, every woman, every man. Misa Era, Misa Era, Workers' Republic and everlasting peace. Misa Era, Misa Era, I love this land, every woman, every man. Misera, Workers' Republic, and everlasting peace.
There you go. It's different, isn't it? Definitely a bit different, but it's a class week song. So that's Shanaghy and the Unity Squad featuring Mary Courtney, Cruncher, Gary Ogue, Shane McGowan. Shane McGowan was unmistakably, you knew it was Shane straight away, and the legend that is Damien Dempsey. A load of great voices there you knew straight away. So that was our Misa Era. Check it out, folks, on Spotify. That was especially for Ciara Griffin. Right, folks, we're down to the last hour and 5 minutes. Great show today so far. Again, brilliant interview with Kevin Driscoll. So cheers for coming on, mate. Right, so two tickets are bought while the show was on. So again, folks, cheers for your contributions. So we're going to play out the video one more time, obviously, for promoting the gig before the show's out. Right, so next song we want to do today is, I suppose we may get a few comments here before we go on. People may think I'm ignoring them. Flan Column. Anyone check on Bryson today? It's been a tough week for him. Jesus Christ. His Twitter is just like, it's hilarious to watch. Like, I think the other day, whenever the boys were officially saying out their document, your man James Cleverly and this boy over in the EU, whoever it was, he had a complete meltdown. The steam was flying out of Jim Allister's ears, which it normally is, but the other day it was coming a bit more further. So he was like a dragon, just like, he was raging. But that's good to see wee Jim like there. So it is. Let's see. Tracy Moran says a beautiful song. There we go. David says, yep, I'm into this, definitely going on to the playlist. There's the good friend Johan, the Swedish Provo. How do you, mate? It's been a sober weekend. 2 hard weekends coming up. Jesus, mate. It's not like you having a sober weekend at all, so it isn't. James there says, wish I could be in West Belfast this year for Easter. Hopefully next year we will be there. Well, hopefully you will indeed, mate. So we're going to do the song for you next, James. Obviously looking tune for your missus, as you say, your long-suffering missus, Debbie. She's looking for the ballad of Maria Farrell. So we're going to do this one here. I've not done this version in a while. It's been Emer's version I've been playing the last few times. So this is my good friend Karen McCann. She doesn't sing any rebel music at all these days. It's more like church stuff, weddings and funerals and all you'll hear her doing. So it's great to have the likes of this here on like recorded. So this is from the Ernie Flute Band 25th anniversary CD. Come back away a few years ago. So it's Karen McCann with the ballad of Maria Farrell, especially for James and his Mrs. Debbie. Here we go.
Do not stand at my grave and weep. I am not there, I do not sleep. Do not stand at my grave and cry while our land lives. I do not die. A woman's place is not at home. The fight for freedom still goes on. I took up my gun until freedom's day and pledged to fight for the IRA. In Armagh jail I spent my time. Strip searches were a British crime. Degraded me, but they could not see I'd suffer this to see Ireland free. Gibraltar was the place I died.
beautiful version there of the Baltimore Farrell from a good friend, Cara McCann. This is Rebel Sundays, folks. So we have 1 hour to go for you today. Hope you're all enjoying the show. If you are enjoying the show, folks, please drop us a wee tip or donation. Keeps us here on a Sunday, keeps doing the show. So you can see this here there. There's a wee QR code for Revolut. You can just scan the QR code with your phone, it'll bring you straight there. Below it, there's a QR code for PayPal as well. Just scan the QR code, it'll bring you straight there. You can donate as little or as much as you want. So cheers to everyone who regularly donates to the show. Some people do it every week, some people don't, whatever, up to yourselves. So cheers to you all. I say anything, folks say, every little helps, as the old test squad says. Keeps me doing this on a Sunday, keeps me in the studio, keeps me in here rather than out doing Christians and shit. It's much appreciated, all donations to keep the show going. So cheers, folks. So if you can get a few quid there in your pocket and you want to spare it, I will gladly take it off you. So cheers. Right, so talking about the Celtic Rangers semi-final in Hampton, I'm going to be at Nancy Mulligan's, folks. So that there is on Sunday the 30th of April. And glad to say, after speaking last week, going forward, so from this match onwards, I'm going to be doing all of the Glasgow Derby games at Nancy Mulligan's. So it's all the future Celtic Rangers games. You're going to be able to catch me down in Nancy Mulligan's bar there in Castle Street. So I'll be busy playing before the match starts. For a while, get the crowd all pumped up. A few tunes in between if any goals are scored, then about for an hour afterwards before the live music kicks in. So again, it's from doing the show like this here that's got me a wee bit of sort of people are starting to notice me, who I am, what I'm doing, and they're enjoying the show, enjoying the tunes I'm playing. So cheers to Jerry and Sean who have me down there, so now want me for all of the Celtic Rangers games going forward from this one on the 30th of April. So looking forward to busy joining the crew, all the lads down there. Much appreciated, so cheers for that. Again, don't forget next week, folks, next Sunday, Sean Daly from Sean Daly and the Shams is going to be joining us live in the show. From 2 o'clock, and so it's 6 o'clock in the morning live over where Sean is. What else do I have to mention? Yes, this here as well. So don't forget, folks, if anyone's up around the South Armagh, Cross McGlen area on May the 27th, there's going to be a function in the Cross Square Hotel in Cross McGlen in memory of the late Jamie, folks. Obviously, you remember we had Jamie and John from Finnan on the show last year. Fortunately, Jamie passed away, which obviously his family and friends, massive shock for them. So it was. So there's going to be a gig here on Saturday the 27th of May. Doors open 7 o'clock, folks. The tickets are a tenner, and all proceeds will be getting donated towards the local youth club in Cross McGlen. Obviously, Jamie was a volunteer there for many years, so it's a cause very close to Jamie's heart. So it is. So I'm going to be obviously opening things up, hosting the show. Entertainment on the night is going to be provided by the lads from Finnan, then Stefan and the Coolies as well. So get yourselves there, folks. It's going to be a great gig in memory of a absolutely great guy, Jamie. So hopefully see a few of you there on the Cross Square Hotel on Saturday the 27th of May. Right, so I think that's all caught up with everything, is it? What we'll go do next? What tune we'll go do next? Let's see what we'll have there. Right, so we'll do this one with Big Johan, my good friend, the Swedish Provo, who's having a quiet one this weekend. It's hard. I'm finding it hard to believe, but if he says it's true, it's true. Normally, whenever Johan's on the drink, you do see him live on Facebook, so maybe he is having a quiet one this weekend. So, right, so we'll do this here. Next tune for him. So good song he loves. It's a ballad of George and Pop. We'll go do the Alan Quinn version. I don't think I've actually played this version on the show. This is from Alan's 5-track EP. So it is that he recorded along Big Pat. So this a few other people asked for George and Pop as well. So this one, Spicy Fusion's all who asked for it, but particularly Big Johan, our good friend, the Swedish Provo over in Stockholm in Sweden. So this view is Alan Quinn with George and Pop, folks, from Rebel Sundays.
On the slopes of the Cragen, one morning in May, 4 lads at the base with hearts young gay. Their cause it was for freedom. It's a cause London night, and that foreign oppressor they went to the fight. Whilst patrolling our streets, they met with the foe,
and with guns at the ready, our lads had to go. And so we'll raise up our hands, and we'll curse at British lands, who torment the very hearts of men that dare to cross their path. But my heart is broken too. Won't you tell me what to do? They couldn't stop our George and Pop, and they'll not stop me and you. The place, it fell silent when the shooting died down. 3 young lads, they lay dead on the streets of her town. It's another 2 lives lost in the sun going fight, and in Derry were mourned on that fateful night. And so we'll raise up our hands, and we'll curse that British land, who torment the very heart of men that dare to cross their path. But my heart, it is broken too. Won't you tell me what to do? They couldn't stop our George and Pop, and they'll not stop me and you. George and Pop should lie cold at stone. They died fighting for Derry, their own native home. So always remember, and don't ever forget, they died fighting for Ireland, we owe them a debt. And so we'll raise up our hands, and we'll curse that British lands, who torment the very heart of men that dare to cross their path. But my heart, it is broken too. Won't you tell me what to do? They couldn't stop our George and Pop, and they'll not stop me and you.
There you go. That is the ballad of George and Pop there from Alan Quinn there from his 5-track EP. So that was especially for Big Johan over in Sweden, and also for, let's see, just a few people mentioned here. Where was it? Let's see. Tricia Moran says, yeah, brilliant. I asked for it. Thank you, George, as my cousin. Not a problem, Tricia. Thanks very much for tuning in this afternoon. Carrie Connor says, yeah, one of my favourites, Amory Barkley. Maura Burns, great song. James Way, thank you very much. We are privileged that you still do a show on a Sunday to entertain us all with your Raise to Fame. I wouldn't say it there, like, as a DJ legend. Listen, I'll just be quite happy doing DJ gigs, playing the songs I like, rather than playing Buddy ABBA and all this rest of this shit. I mean, or if I can go and do a gig where I can play all these busy songs of rebellion all night, I get much more enjoyment out of it. So, but cheers, James Annally, as always, mate. I'm the one that's humbled by getting comments like that there. Graham, yeah, I'm going to do this here in a wee second for you, not a problem. Shay Doolan, the legend. Just while I was mentioning there, folks, you see me putting up the wee ad during the last song for Ballad Fest. So I'll just give you a wee shout here for the flyer for it, in case if anyone's want to get tickets for it. There's still tickets available. So Ballad Fest 5 is happening in Belfast this year, in West Belfast, at the Devonish Complex. Lots of great bands are all playing it, so you can go to the tickets, folks, from potterbrowns.com or an Eventbrite. Just search for Battlefest 5. So on the night it's going to be, so both nights there's going to be a flute band opening up. So on the Friday night, the Ernia flute band's going to be opening the show up. On the Saturday night, the O'Neill Alsop is going to be opening the show. It's great for myself, having played in both of them bands. Obviously it's great for me, because I'm going to be hosting both nights. It's great to see two bands that I busy spent the vast majority of my life in, marched on the road, go be playing this here gig. So Also on the over the course of 2 days is going to be Fieldsy, who actually, if you've seen her video the other day, I'm going to play her version of Joe McDonald very, very soon for you as well. She's moving back to Ireland over the next few months. She's been based over in Australia for the last 10 years or so. She's done a wee small mini tour over the last week or two there. So big shout out to Serious Emotions who brought Fieldsy over. So she is going to be moving back. So yeah, Fieldy's going to be here for that gig. Then Emer and her band, the Dublin Bards, who obviously is the resident band in Potter Browns. Myself, Ro, I'll be busy hosting both nights, maybe playing a few tunes in between the bands as well. Then Shay Doolan, as I mentioned earlier on, for me, he's the most in-demand rebel singer out there at the minute for anywhere, up and down the country, over in Spain, whatever. People just want to get a hold of this guy. So I'm so privileged that I have Shay for my gig in December. But yeah, he's going to be here for this gig. Balfest 5 and Shabeen, full band, the Owl Brigade, Paddy and Fran, then Erngo Bra, the Rebel Hearts come from County Tipperary, Callie's Men, and then the Irish Brigade as well. So it's Friday the 2nd and Saturday the 3rd of February, folks, next year in the Debney's Complex. As far as I know, the Beach Lounge Hotel is booked out completely already, but I think if you phone the hotel up, somebody told me they actually rang the hotel and they were able to get tickets or get a room booked because they had a cancellation or something. So, and then there's the Balmoral as well, which is a local hotel. So, folks, get tickets for it. It's going to be a cracking 2 nights. So, there's next February. It seems like a long way away since February, which just passed out this year. But I suppose Aidan is really pushing the promo out for this now. So, that's Balfest 5, folks. Coming to West Belfast, it's going on the road Friday the 2nd and Saturday the 3rd of February next year. Tickets from potterbrowns.com or Eventbrite. So hopefully see a few of you there. Another gig I'm going to be doing is looking forward to this one with Gary Ogue as well, folks, on Friday the 12th of May in the West. So I'll be supporting them, basically playing before and after Gary's gig. Tickets are a tenner. You can buy them from the bar, so they aren't available online or anything. So you want to get tickets for this gig, folks, on Friday the 12th of May for Gary Ogue and myself. Ro, go to the West themselves. The tickets are on sale behind the bar in the West. So I think it's about time we played a bit of music. It's got all these ads and promotions out of the way. So Graham was looking for me to play Cruncher with down by the Glenside, the Bold Fenian Men. So the version I'm going to play is it's going back. I'm looking now 3 years ago would have been. I had Cruncher on from one of my audio podcasts. So go and check it out. It's still on SoundCloud, folks. One of the best ones I've done. Very, very emotional interview to do for me. So it was with Cruncher. Obviously considering what he's going through at the minute. So I had him up in the Raddies on the stage, and we talked about a lot of things about his alcoholism and basically how it sort of ruined his life, how he is where he is now, and basically it's just his journey, his musical journey. So on the night, at the end of the night, I got him recording them singing down by the Glenside, Bold Fenian Men, and this is Cruncher's go-to song. It's chilling. You just listen to him. So it's not audio. It's not great quality. It's basically on the night on the podcast now itself. It's good quality because it's recorded with a microphone. This one here is just recorded from my phone, but it's still, you can still hear it. It's good. So this is Terry Cruncher O'Neill, especially for Graham Keaton. They're from Dublin. This is Cruncher with the Bold Fenian Men down by the Glenside.
'Twas down by the glenside I met an old woman up-looking young dadoes. She ne'er saw me coming. I listened a while to the song she was humming. Glory ho, to the bold Fenian man. Some died by the glenside, some died by the stranger, and wise men have told us that their cause was a failure, but they loved dear old Ireland, and they never feared danger. Glory ho, to the bold Finian man. I went on my way. God be praised that I matter be my life long or short. Sure, I'll never forget the rock we may have men, but we'll never have better. Glory, oh, glory, oh, to the bold Fenian band. Glory, oh, glory, oh, to the bold Fenian man.
Excellent.
Oh, the news has spread through Ireland and spread from shore to shore of deeds as these no living man has ever heard before. From out the guarded carriage men that panicked stricken strong, Sean Hogan, he was rescued at the station of Knocklow, when the guard of 4 policemen had the prisoner minded well, as the fateful train sped o'er the rail, conveying him to his cell. The prisoner then could scarce foretell of hearts both brave and strong. They were planning for his rescue at the station of Knocklow. Now the shades of him were falling fast, and the train at last drew in. He was halted for an hour or so by a few courageous men. They sprung on to the carriage, and it did not take them long. Hands up or die was the rebel cry in the station of Knocklow. Now King George's pampered hirelings, they struggled up with fear, and thought of how they placed themselves full many a volunteer, and face to face with harried men to escape how did they long. But 2 of them met with traitors' death at the station of Knocklow. From Sonnel head to Limerick, such deeds were never seen, and never a tear was ever shed for Wallace of Roskeen. They did all England's dirty work, they did not work too long, but the renegade they were numbered up at the station of Knocklow. Now rise up, Mother Erin, rise up and be of cheer. You'll never die while at your side there stands such volunteers. From Dingle Bay to Garryowen, the cheers will echo long. Of the rescue of Sean Hogan at the station of Knocklow. Of the rescue of Sean Hogan at the station of Knocklow. Station of folks, thank you very much.
There we go. That's sort of Clover there, folks, from their album. It was called Live in the Hart Bar in County Cork there a few years ago now. So what is that? There's the station of Knocklong. Back then when they had Trevor in the band playing the old box, the squeeze box. Great song. Let's see. Joseph McGuire says, yeah, great version of that song. Let's see. Graham says, yeah, a true balladeer indeed. Old Cruncher, so he has Sinead McCloskey was looking for Willie and Danny, please. Yes, I'm going to play Shay Doolan's version of Willie and Danny next from his album Music That Kept the Spirits Free. Yeah, folks, so keep the requests coming through. If any tunes you haven't that I've asked for yet, if you've asked for we haven't played, get them in. Now we'll have another 35 minutes. Now just so you do know, because my ma texted me yesterday on, but I already had this planned to play for the end of the show. So obviously this past week there was the 6th anniversary of the death of our chieftain Martin McGuinness, folks. So I'm going to be playing obviously the brilliant track by Kieran McCaffrey, Where My Heart Will Always Be. Obviously beautiful song, all about just a legend of a man. So yeah, it'll be the last song for the day. So it will. So right, so any more requests, folks, get them in. We'll have another 35 minutes left to go for you. So right, yes, next tune we're going to do, which is Shay Doolan with Willie and Danny from Shay's album. So Shay's going to be one of the acts playing with our gig in December here, folks, the Big Fans Gathering 3. So make sure you get your tickets now from rebelpodcast.bigcartel.com. Say, folks, these tickets aren't going to hang about for long. And I don't want people coming saying, oh, I was going to leave it there and then there's none left now and can you get me in and all, whatever. Because I'm under strict from this bar that once they hit so many tickets, that's it. Don't be selling anymore. So you have been warned, folks.
Trying to sing some songs of glory, sing some songs of peace, but in the end it's the same old story, the boat too hard to reach. People tell me that they're sick and tired of seeing this place rolling down. But I say, take your blindfolds off, you hypocrites, and now get us off the ground. And please say it isn't so. While Willie and Danny had to go, the reason's very clear. They're laying down the lies for us here of the air. 70 shots between their bodies now. One of those bullets missed, and for every trigger that was pulled, I'm more than a volunteer. Well missed. Oh, for 5 long hours you left them lying. Was turned away, and that's another step, Lord, for those SAS murderers will never forget the day. And please say it isn't so. While Willie and Danny had to go, the reason's very clear. They're laying down the lies for us here of the air. Few were to prove their witness. Thousands from the streets. Those poster boys hovered helplessly overhead, rocking out to salute. Well, they emptied their magazines over each coffin. Finally the crowd were sent, and another day dawns, and the guns will be out again, 'cause Willie and Danny have friends. And please say it isn't so. While Willie and Danny had to go, the reasons were clear. Laying down the lies for us here out the air. Please say it isn't so. While Willie and Danny had
you go. The bold Shay Doolan there, folks, from Liverpool. And he always says he is not English, he is Scouse. So he is a brilliant tracker for Shay's album. Go and check it on Spotify, folks. It's his latest album, along with his other one. So it's called Music That Kept the Spirits Free. So yeah, check Shay Doolan out. He's right now, he's everywhere. He's playing. He definitely is, especially for the Celtic fans. Some of the songs he's done about like Hatate and Jota, and which is great to hear now, because I was actually talking to Shay last week, and he says very soon he's getting into the studio to record a Celtic album with all these songs on it that obviously that he sort of made famous, which is great, because a guy was on to me about wanting to remix a couple of Shay's songs, to make them into like sort of dance tracks, but obviously he there was nothing recorded, officially recorded. So he says, yep, over the next few weeks, he's trying to find the time to get into the studio, and he's going to be recording a Celtic album. So really looking forward to that there, because anytime I'm doing some of the Celtic gigs, I'm always getting asked by people, play that Shay Doolan song, or play this Jada song, or play the Hatate song, or the Haxabanovich song. But they aren't there. There's only like phone recordings of them, and they're not as good quality to play through a set of speakers. So hopefully Shay will have all them on his Celtic album whenever he gets it recorded. Right, so I had this here on the screen there, folks, and that last song was on. So on Saturday the 3rd of June, say this isn't an official official trip for the podcast, but what we're doing is just a couple of people were talking, saying we want to get like a night out to go and see Clover, probably in their own backyard. So probably the best gig for them. I was on to Paul, and he said this one here, so it's going to be taking place in the Wolftones GAC in Shannon, County Clare. I suppose Shannon is known as Little Belfast, because there's not many people from Belfast that have up sticks and moved down to Shannon, so they have. So I have a lot of family there as well, so looking forward to meeting all them on the night. So it's free admission, folks. There's no tickets or anything required. So if you want to go to it, all we're telling people is get yourself there, book your own accommodation. If you don't want to stay overnight, just get there, and just we'll all meet there on the night. So it's Saturday the 3rd of June. Go and see Clover Rebel Band live in the Wolftones GAC Club in Shannon, County Clare, folks. It's going to be a great night, so it's be good just to obviously go and meet a lot of people, and just out of not a sort of strictly podcast capacity, where I'm not sort of doing anything. We'll just go have a few drinks and have a bit of crack and enjoy the night, you know what I mean? So hopefully see a few of you there. It says there's no tickets, it's free admission. So basically what we're just saying is get yourselves there on Saturday the 3rd of June to the Wolftones in Shannon. See, I mean, I was looking around, there's lots of accommodation. So there is B&Bs and all, pretty cheap, so it'll be a good night out. So also hopefully a few will be able to get there. Right, well, jump into a few comments before we do the next song of the day. We're getting down the last half hour, folks, for you. Right, let's see. Terry, what is the crack, Terry? I hope you get your Virgin Internet. Did you get abandoned in Cope Bridge or what? I seen you over there. Let's see. Studs Lanigan says, hi Martin, honey. What's he saying here? Just pop them a quick drive. Big Ro looks like he's sitting in the Starship Enterprise in yon shirt. What's wrong with this shirt? Oh, you have oh, that's the way like the Star Trek on it. At least where that it had a colour in it. You're probably right, bits isn't it? There wasn't it. Who wore the yellow one? Was it Scotty or something? Beam me up, Scotty, whatever. But this is actually probably one of my favourite of the New Balance strips. This here one and the home one that went with this here one. Actually wore it Orange Patrick's Day one will be with the collar. It's nice, so it is. So yeah, but I had the quick on. What's he on about? The Starship Enterprise. There we go. Let's see. I'll be some night, James. Looking forward to it. That's all caught up, is it? All the comments. Beam me up, Ro. That's it, Ro. You got this. There we go. Right, right. So we'll go to this one here. I think I could ask as well for a bit of Chris Carney. Yeah, so Chris is one of the ones we played at Belfast, along with probably Robbie Darcy, I'd say, making up sort of Erin Go Braff in it. So here we go. This is from Chris's album, Live in Potter Browns. This is what one am I going to play? Let's see, the Boys Low Brigade. Chris is just brilliant live, and obviously with Potter Browns being sort of so compact, you can really hear the crowd coming in when they're all singing and all. So this is a brilliant album. Check it out. It's on Spotify as well. And I think Armoured Cars and Tanks and Guns, Men Behind the Wire are on this track as well, so if I'm not mistaken. So here we go. David, I think you asked for this one, so here we go.
Oh Father, why are you so sad on this rainy summer morn, when Irish of the slumber they were born. Oh son, I see in memory of you afar of distant days, when being just a lad like you joined the IRA. Oh, where are the lads that stood with me when history was made? Oh, from a green I long to see the boys of the old brigade. From the hills to farms of walls and wars was heard by one and all. And from the glen came those brave young men just to answer Ireland's call. It was long ago we faced a foe, the old brigade and me. And by my side we fought and died so that Ireland she might be free. Where are the lads who stood with me when history was made? Oh, proud and free, I long to see the boys of the old brigade. Oh, armoured cars and tanks and guns came to take away our sons. Every man must stand behind the men behind the wire. Through the little streets of Belfast in the dark of early morn, British soldiers came running, wrecking little homes with scorn. Careless saw the crying children, driving bottles from their bed. Watch the single helpless mothers, watch the blood pour from their head. Armored cars and tanks and guns, it came to take away our sons. Every man must stand behind the men behind the wire. Oh, not for them a judge or jury, nor indeed a crime at all. Being Irish means we're guilty, so we're guilty one and all. Round the world a triple echo, Cromwellsmen are here again. England's name again is sullied in the eyes of honest men. Here we go! Armored cars and tanks and guns came to take away our sons. Every man must stand behind the men behind the wire. And now, my boy, I told you why on Easter morning I sang, as I recall my comrades all of dark old days gone by. Sure, I think of men who fought in Glen with rifles and hand grenades. They haven't keep the men who sleep on the ranks of the old brigade. Oh, where are the lads who stood with me when history was made? Oh, brother Creek, I want to see the boys of the... Wait, one more time, let me hear it, lad, hear it! Oh, where are the lads who stood with me when history was made? Oh, brother Creek, I want to see the boys and girls of the old brigade.
On the Chris there, that's Chris Carney, folks, with the Boys Over Brigade and the men behind the wire on Rebel Sunday. So we have another, with 20 minutes to go, depending, see. Right, so get your requests then, folks. Any more tunes you want to hear, get them down and I'll look through the comments. Loads of people listening today, loads of shares. So cheers you all. Big numbers watching on YouTube. Goofy watching on Twitter as well today. So it's always great to see the Twitter followership always building up, folks. So just regarding YouTube, if any is that there's a serious amount of people that watch the show every week that aren't subscribed to the YouTube channel. So if you do me a favour, just go on the YouTube. Obviously, you need to have like a sign in, like a Gmail account, whatever it is, to sign in the YouTube. So if you go on and just basically follow my page, would you? And give the wee bell a wee click. It just means then, well, you follow the page and give the bell a click. It'll notify you whenever I'm live from now on. Plus, it means it gets me more followers I have. It gets out to more people. You know what I mean? Because it's all to do with the algorithm on YouTube. So the more followers you get, the more sort of people it sends this on their news feed. If you get me, so but all YouTube channels I got there. I mean, you hear all these big, massive YouTube channels, well, and shows people saying that, like, I have 3 million subscribers, but only say like 50% of them are actually, of like 3 million people watched that video or whatever it was, but only 50% of them are subscribed to the channel. So it takes literally 20 seconds. Just go on, subscribe to it, and then click the wee bell icon, and it'll give you a notification anytime I'm live or anytime I upload a video. Very, very easy. Let's see. I think that's all the girls of the old brigade. Alan Chucky was looking for Peter Peepy Rooney from Damien Quinn. Yes, we'll try and get that fitted in before we'll finish up. So one song I said I did want to do before we rocked up today was we're going to play the song from Fieldsy. Obviously, probably relatively new to a lot of people, but this girl, she's an amazing voice. Like, so she originally, I think it's Dublin she's from, but she's been in I was going to say Germany or Australia for the last 10 years. But so she was over there a few weeks ago doing a really small mini tour, all sort of organised by Stage Promotions. So she put a video up last week and Busy told people that's me, I'm moving back to Ireland. So obviously she's only playing at the Balfest 5 in Belfast here in February coming. So she uploaded there on the TikTok and all on Facebook a few weeks ago, her version of Joe McDonnell. And it's an amazing version of this song. So this is Fieldsy, folks. Say one of them singers a lot of people didn't know about until she came over here and started putting a load of her videos up, and they are following us just through the roof. She is amazing, so she is. This Fieldsy, folks, with a bottle of Joe McDonnell, all 7 minutes and 7 seconds of it for you. So I hope we listen to this.
Oh, my name is Joe McDonnell. From Belfast town I came, a city I will never see again. For in the town of Belfast I spent many happy days. I love that town in oh so many ways. For it's there I spent my childhood and found for me a wife. I then set out to make for her a life. But all my young ambition met with bitterness and hate. I soon found myself inside a prison gate. And you dare to call me a terrorist while you lock down your gun. When I think of all the deeds that you have done, you have plundered many nations, divided many lands. You have terrorized their people. You ruled with an iron hand, and you brought this reign of terror to my land. Through those many months, internment in the Maidstone and the maze, I thought about my land throughout those days. Why my country was divided, why I was now in jail, imprisoned without crime or without trial. And though I love my country, I am not a bitter man. I've seen cruelty and injustice at first hand. So then, one faithful morning, I shook bold freedom's hand. For right or wrong, I tried to free my land. And you dare to call me a terrorist while you look down your gun. When I think of all the deeds that you have done, you have plundered many nations, divided many lands. You have terrorized their people. You ruled with an iron hand, and you brought this reign of terror to my land. Then one cold October's morning, trapped in the lion's den, I found myself in prison once again. I was committed to the H blocks for 14 years or more. The blankets, the conditions, they were poor. Then a hunger strike we did commence for the dignity of man. But it seemed to me that no one gave a damn. But now I am a saddened man. I've watched my comrades die. If only people cared or wondered why. And you dare to call me a terrorist while you look down your gun. When I think of all the deeds that you have done, you have plundered many nations, divided many lands. You have terrorized their people. You rule with an iron hand, and you brought this reign of terror to my land. May God shine on you, Bobby Sands, for the courage you have shown. May your glory and your fame be widely known. And Francis Hughes and Ray McCreesh, who died unselfishly, and Patsy O'Hara, the next in line is me. And those who lie behind me, may your courage be the same. And I pray to God my life was not in vain. Ah, but sad and bitter was the year of 1981. For everything I lost and nothing's won. childhood, growing up in the Bogside. People live their daily lives, in hard times they did strive. But little did I know then what I would come to be, a soldier of my country, my life to see it free. As the conflict happened around me, and people marched for rights, injustice it was plain to see. It was the time to fight. No more the rule of Britain, no more an orange state, no more will we be second class. My calling was fate. And in the years that followed, I chose to heed the call, to stand along with Ireland's braves and resist the lion's claw. From the Bogside and the New Lodge, in Tyrone and South Armagh, for the freedom of this country, great volunteers we had. As I look back on the struggle and proud of all we've done, to create the time for peace again, our chance to be as one. The hope of just one Ireland, the dream of 32. It was not for me to finally see I won't be here with you. Standing at my door, my family all around me, and all their hearts so sore. The main man made the call now, it's time for me to go. No more will I see green and high, or fish in rivers flow. Then take me to Cuchulainn and lay me by his side, along with my brave comrades. Beneath this cross I lie. I'll look out on the Bogside, where my heart will always be, and know that I will rest in peace, as you set Ireland free. I look out on the Bogside, where my heart will always be, and know that I will rest in peace, as you set Ireland free.
There we go, folks. We'll just keep this here on the screen for a wee second. So this past week was the anniversary of Martin McGuinness, folks, our chief indeed. Honestly, I can still remember the morning I woke up for work at about 6 o'clock, 5 o'clock, and it's on the news, like, and I knew he was sick, but I didn't know he was that sick, that he was going downhill rapidly, and it just shook me. Like, I mean, Martin McGuinness was just, oh, what a guy! Like, just a legend, and say, but I don't think even the loyalists have a bad word to say about him. I mean, for what he has done. So it was Kieran McCafferty, folks, and all the rest of I think about 4 or 5 other musicians from Derry that came together, put that song together. Amazing, but Kieran's voice is just astounding there. So there's Where My Heart Will Always Be, the ballad of Martin McGuinness, folks. So there's on his 6th anniversary this past week. So we're going to try and fit in a couple more songs, maybe 3 if we'll have the time. So for anybody that asked me to play a song, I haven't done it. Apologies, but I can't fit all the songs in every single week. One I want to do here is the Kieran Byrne, as he was released this week. The first song he's released from his album, his new album, Spancel Hill. It's on Spotify, but I actually couldn't find it the other day. But the reason I wanted to play it was because it just popped up on Facebook the other morning. Was the version of Christy Moore done with Shane MacGowan. I think it was like from the Late Late Show or something, so it was a lot of years ago. This is obviously before like sort of Shane went really, really downhill, like, but it was in the early days, so it was probably when the Pogues were in their pump, like. So I'm going to play this version here now, and I all know it says in my hard drive, Spancel Hill with Shane MacGowan, Christy Moore, so I'm assuming it's the version from the Late Late Show, so maybe a bit crackly, but it's This version is just brilliant. It's live. I love it, so I do. So I did want to play Kieran's version, but I couldn't find it on Spotify for some reason. Don't know why. I'll maybe do it next week's show if I can get it. So and a few people as well asked for Peter P.P. Rooney, so we're going to play it there for the last song of the show today. So okay, after this one. So this is Christy Moore, folks, and Shane MacGowan with Spancel Hill on Rebel Sunday. Honestly, it's been a great show today, folks. So cheers to you all who have all tuned in, donated, have a crack in the comments. So definitely really, really one of the better ones we've done.
Myself and Shane are going to have a go at a song here from a long time ago. I'm going to sing his version and he's going to sing my version. Last night as I lay dreaming of pleasant days gone by, me mind been bent on rambling to Ireland's Isle to glide. I stepped on board a vision and I followed with a will, and I shortly came to anchor at the cross of Spancel Hill. On the 23rd of June, the day before the flare, when Ireland's sons and daughters were all assembled there, the young, the old, the brave, upon their duty to fulfill at the little church in Clooney, a mile from Spancel Hill. I went to see my neighbours, see what they would say. The old ones, they were dead and gone, the young ones turning grey. I met with Taylor Quigley, he's as bold as ever stood. Jerry used to make me breeches when I lived on Spancel Hill. I paid a flying visit to me first and only love. She is fair as Annie Lily and gentle as a dove. She threw her arms all round me, saying, Johnny, I love you still. Oh, she's not the ranger's daughter and the bride of Spancel Hill. I dreamt I hug and kiss her as in the days of yore. She said, Johnny, you're only joking, as many's the time before. The cock
early in the morning. He crew both loud and shrill, and I awoke in California, many miles from Spansel Hill.
There you go. I said it was crackly, but I think it must have been an old VHS recording or something from the Late Show. But brilliant there, Christy Moore and Shane McGowan with Spansel Hill. I say either popped up the other morning on Facebook as that version of it. I seen a video, so I did want to play Kieran Burns' version there. But I say I can't find it on Spotify. It's probably I'm looking in the wrong place or something. But I'll try and get it for next week's show. So don't forget, folks, that next Sunday we are back. Ideally, we shouldn't be back on again until Easter weekend, but because I'm out gigging all Easter weekend, so there's no show on. So we are going to do next week, and then we'll be back on obviously the week after Easter, which probably messes up the whole 2-week thing. But sure, as I said at the start of the year, this was going to happen, just depending on gigs. We'll go try and do it every 2 weeks, but it mightn't work out like that there. So anyway, yeah, so back next Sunday, folks, for like we'll maybe do a special Easter show next week, saying we're not going to be here for Easter weekend. So next week's guest is going to be Sean Daly from Sean Daly and the Shams, saying Sean told me it's going to be 6 a.m. Live, so it is, wherever he is in America, whenever we get him on at 2 o'clock, so he probably won't be in the bed long, so he won't, before he's up again to do the show live. So hopefully he gets up in time at the set out the alarm clock. So folks, yeah, we're going to finish up the show here today because a few people had asked for the ballad of Peter P.P. Rooney. Again, another legend of a volunteer from West Belfast, folks. What this guy done, he said one of those quiet ones where didn't go around sort of going, I'm this, I'm that, you know, I am, blah, 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 blah. People knew who Peter P.P. Rooney was, and basically what he done in the struggle obviously spoke for itself. So it did. So Damien Quinn wrote this absolutely brilliant song. It was passed by the family and all. They all loved it. So it did. So really glad that he played this here in the show whenever somebody asked for it. If this Talbot would decide to work, so it would be good. See. There we go. Right, folks, we're going to finish up this with the very last one of the show. So again, thanks to you all for coming on today, for requesting songs, for joining in the crack. Sorry if I didn't get any of your requests done. Again, I can't get every one done every single week. It just depends whether I see it in the comments or not. Cheers to everyone who's dropped me a wee donation. You still can, folks. You want to send something in, just scan one of the QR codes there from PayPal or Revolut. It would be much appreciated. Again, cheers to Kev for coming on. Kevin Driscoll, brilliant interview. I say one of the best ones we've done in a while. He went over a wee bit, but I had a lot of questions he asked for him. I had a good bit of sort of background stuff. So again, cheers to Michael McCormick, who done all the donkey work, and getting him on his show last year. Was able to get a good lot of stuff from Michael's interview with him. So that's me, folks. So again, I'll see us all next Sunday, the 2nd of April, with special guest Sean Daly from Sean Daly and the Sham. So until then, thank you very much. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. If any of you are heading to go and see him tonight in Dublin, a few is are away off and all. Enjoy your night. So it's the last one of the day, folks, the last one of the show. So cheers to you all. Chucky Arla. And this is the ballad of Peter P.P. Rooney and Real Sundays.
I'll tell to you the story of one of Ireland's bravest sons. His name is P.P. Rooney. In St. James's life begun, he was born into a conflict of oppression and of shame. So he took a stand for Ireland to break those English chains. So we'll sing of P.P. Rooney from St. James's by the Falls, that fearless fighting soldier for Ireland gave his all. No more we'll see your smiling face, that face that we all knew. You lived your life for freedom's fight and for Ireland's 32. He watched his brother Dan Daniel died, murdered by the crown. This bird is fight for freedom, us crappies won't lie down. He joined a Fena Erin at 16 years of age, then soon became a volunteer in the Belfast Brigade. So we'll sing a P.P. Rooney from St. James's by the Falls, that fearless fighting soldier for Ireland gave his all. No more we'll see her smiling face, that face that we all knew. You lived your life for freedom's fight and for Ireland's 32. He was proud to give the gun salute when they honoured Bobby Sands, and again for Joe MacDonald with his rifle in his hand, beaten and arrested when that funeral was attacked. Did a sentence in the H blocks and then reported back. So we'll sing a P.P. Rooney from St. James's by the Falls, that fearless fighting soldier for Ireland gave his all. No more we'll see her smiling face, that face that we all knew. You lived your life for freedom's fight and for Ireland's 32. The fight for Irish freedom led him overseas, to England and to Europe, for Ireland's liberty. He was over in Gibraltar with his comrade Dan McCann, who was murdered with Mairead and Sean, far from their native land. So we'll sing a P.P. Rooney from St. James's by the Falls, that fearless fighting soldier for Ireland gave his all. No more we'll see your smiling face, that face that we all knew. You lived your life for freedom's fight and for Ireland's 32. You lived your life for freedom's fight and for Ireland's 32.
safi alligator Queens are slow Her tender rannikum They fudge face hair Shantir a shinshir pasta Ni akbar pantera not the top Andot ein sabar well They gone their kill on was no sell They gone their grave Ni labot na bile Charlotte carried around the veil
You have been listening to Rebel podcast of Rory Carson. To listen to this and past episodes again, and to also check out future episodes, keep an eye on our official SoundCloud page. We are also available on all social media outlets. Just search Rebel podcast. Bhí sé bhgéisteach an sin leis an fád cruúlaí Rebel le Rory McCarson. Le héisteach le seo agus hir hagran a ríis, agus na hagran atá le teacht, caisúil ar siúafadú sugin ar SoundCloud, agus táid ar fáil ar gach cinneal ardan ar na main thuisiilta. Ní mór dit ag fád cruúlaí Rebel a chuirda.